Yo, it's your boy Sean Puff. I'm here with Lionel Walker.
Hey, yo.
And this is Smarks, Spot Monkeys, and Superkicks.
Let's go.
I feel like I get more air every time.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Man, I'm excited, man. I know we got some important stuff to talk about. I'm gonna put my glasses on for this today because I'm focused. All right, so we're gonna put all four eyes on for this one. All right.
It's gonna be wild.
Rocking, yeah.
So we got a lot of big things coming up. This is gonna be a wild month. We got the Smarkies coming.
Yep.
We got the Hulkamania anniversary. We're doing a special episode just dedicated to Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania. I know some people are going to get triggered just because I said that. I don't really care. Hulkamania, the birth date of Hulkamania, January 23rd, when he pinned the Iron Sheik in, I believe it was 1986, maybe?
Yeah, so
way back there.
I was still in diapers.
Or 84.
Oh, I wasn't even in diapers.
This is the 40th anniversary, so it had to be 84.
Wow.
But we're going to talk about that. There's tons to talk about Hulk Hogan. We'll have a bunch of people here who are going to put in their opinions on everything that's gone down. So stay tuned for that. That'll probably drop on the 23rd because we'll record the 21st.
Correct.
And I plan on dropping it on the anniversary. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a dope episode. Of course, the Smarkies coming up. This is going to be the best Smarkies ever because with this man and everything that we're doing here, we've got a lot lined up for it. We're going to be bringing people on, past co-hosts, people who have contributed to the show. We'll be giving out some of the awards, so it's going to be great to just get everyone that's been involved in Smarks since day one here to hand out our annual awards, our 5th annual Smarky Awards. That's going to be dope. Looking forward to it.
Yes, absolutely.
But from there, let's get into today's show.
Yo, he came with the madness. We went over the pregame, and I was already over here smiling before we started recording, so let him get into the madness, man.
It's going to be nuts. I mean, we just had Wrestle Kingdom. I know you're not as deep into it as I am.
So if y'all don't understand what's going on here, man, like a vet's bringing me back into the game. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been in the game for a little while, but the vet's bringing me back. He's keeping me up to speed. And it's funny because as you've noticed since you've been starting to do this and we've been kicking it a little bit, like I've definitely been like keeping up a little bit more. And, you know, we're going to be talking about some of that stuff.
You know, I think it's wild. Looking at everybody that's involved with the network. Yeah. There's a bunch of people that have like interest here and there in wrestling.
Correct.
So it's dope. So we got a group that we are talking and everyone like drops stuff here and there, wrestling stuff. And
it's funny because that's like the common thread between the whole crew too. Like
right.
It is the wrestling conversations, wrestling memes.
And I mean, so this show is dope. Wrestle Kingdom, if you don't watch New Japan, it's basically their version of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It happens the beginning of every year in Japan. Big show at the Tokyo Dome. If you ever can get out to Japan for a wrestling show, make it Wrestle Kingdom. That's like the thing to go to. I want to make it there sometime.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk to AG man and figure out how to make that happen.
That'd be dope. Love to do that. Get out there for that. But I want to quickly run down the card. We're not gonna spend too much time on it today. But I kind of want to just run it down so people can hear about what happened. Go back and watch it. New Japan has a streaming app that you can download. I want to say it's like $9.99 a month, and it's on there. You can go on there and watch it. You know what's really cool about the app? You can go by matches.
Like so you don't have to watch the whole...
No, you can just go watch the matches that you want, or you can watch the whole thing.
That's fire. The Battle Rap really got into that, you know, a while ago too. Like just breaking it down instead of having to watch a whole 3-4 hour battle. You know how we be on Black people time.
Right.
So the battles don't be going on time. But at the end of the day, when Rap Grid started breaking them down like that too, we appreciate that. Like the user friendliness of that is fire.
Yeah, it makes and you can just start it from the beginning, and when you go up, you look at it and flip. Oh, I want to see this match. Oh, I want to see this match. And go to them. So
fire.
Dope. It was weird for me because this is my first time watching it on the app.
So you were like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, like because I'm gonna be honest. I have sites that I go to sometimes when I want to watch something.
Oh yeah.
Because if I don't have it, I'm gonna watch it.
We don't talk about those. Those are the sites to not be named.
Right, fact. And I support everything anyway. Like, I'm out there putting my money into things, being a part of everything, so...
I don't give a... Listen, man, he over here... I don't give a shit if I can afford it or not. If I could get it for free... I'm from the block, okay? I'm from the corner. I don't care how much money I make. I will bootleg your shit. If y'all bootleg my podcast, you're not gonna be mad at you. Some of y'all might steal some clips from this shit. Do not care. Have fun.
Have fun with it. Do it out. New Japan, you want to take something I say and use it? Go for it. Have fun.
Sharing is caring.
Right, seriously. I'm going to get right into it. So we started this show out, Catch-22 versus the War Dogs.
Yes.
Catch-22, kind of a newly formed team. TJP, one of the guys in there, we're going to put up a picture with TJP. This dude came out with his wild mask. And I don't think I showed you that one yet. I think I sent it and you saw it.
Yes.
I look at this dude, I'm like, yo, he looks like the Undertaker. They started this match all right. First match of the night.
Yeah.
They open up. Well, they had like they call it a Rambo. It's kind of like it's an over the top battle royal, and people come. It's kind of like Royal Rumble style.
Yeah,
people come in. So they did that in the pre-show.
Oh, okay.
Then they went into the real show. Started this out, and it comes out. His partner comes out, and there's a coffin. Open the coffin up, and these like scaly fingers come out.
Wait. But is that's, I mean, I feel like he's stealing a little bit of the Undertaker's bag a little bit right there, right? The scaly fingers is different though,
But when you see it all, even the hat he wore, he had a hat that kind of looked like Raiden's hat, but because of his whole look, it looked like the Undertaker too. It's kind of like
what are you doing? What are you doing?
Right, it's like I want to be the Undertaker.
Are you modernizing?
But I don't want to steal it, so I'm gonna steal Raiden. So he had on like that hat.
Slick, got the big brim.
He's in Japan. So instead of the Undertaker's big brim hat, use Raiden's big brim hat. Same idea, fits in.
Smart move. Good marketing.
But he's got wild contacts, wild like beast-looking mask. He wrestled in it, which I thought was nuts.
Oh, wow.
That dude must have been sweating.
Yeah, how can you wrestle with contacts?
Not even that. When you really look at that mask, look at the mask he wore. You're going to look at that and be like, what?
And you went a whole match with that?
A whole match with that on.
Yeah,
I was expecting him to be like, I am getting in the ring, take my hat off, take my mask off. Nope, he wrestled the whole thing in that. I give him props because that dude flies around the ring and does a lot of stuff. Yeah. But he looked slits in that, looked like an alien. Nuts. Nuts.
Don't get me started on aliens.
Right, that's a whole nother show that we can get into, Miami and all. But great match. And I felt like it was one of those things that you knew what was going to happen from the way it started.
Okay.
Right? You don't bring a guy in.
Yeah.
And kind of like rebirth him. That's basically what they did.
Got you.
And then have him come do the job and lose.
Yeah. Right? You got to have that win on the comeback.
Coming back looking like that with this crazy new look. Yeah. So they win. The War Dogs had a 188-day title reign.
Wow.
So breaking it in the first match set the tone for Wrestle Kingdom right there.
Yeah.
You bring out this TJP coming back, reborn basically, looking like the Undertaker, this wild mask, kind of like...
That's crazy. So they basically went half the year without... Wow.
Without losing.
Wow.
Yep. I mean, it's not Roman Reigns, but...
You know, it's still, it's pretty good for what it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that came to an end, that side of the show off, and you kind of knew right then, oh, this is going to be a show. We're going to have a lot going on here. So from there we went into Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yo, you understand what kind of fan you got? Like, I would have messed that up, man. There's no way I wouldn't have slaughtered your name, sir. You need to say thank you. That was crazy. So say it again. What was that?
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
So Tanahashi has wrestled for a while, and they just made him the president or the vice president in Japan.
Yeah, yep.
Which, this threw me off because I figured, he's going to lose.
Okay.
He's coming in, the president, and you don't need to win it. He's like going into a back office position.
Yep.
Nope, he beat Zack Sabre Jr., ZSJ, one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. This dude's from ZSJ. I want to say he's from Australia, Great Britain. I know I might be wrong somewhere in there, but if you know ZSJ, you know who he is. Television title on the line, and this is the one title that Tanahashi hadn't held. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, he's winning the title.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Once you figured that, once it clicked. Yeah, because I was about to say, what is the spin there? But got you. Yeah, it makes sense.
And now he's the president. Finally get the one title that he hasn't had. Yeah. To kind of make him complete. Sense. So like that was dope seeing that. He came out, spoke afterwards. Cool thing about New Japan, right?
Yeah.
Is they have both. So they got their regular broadcast team.
Okay.
And then they have an American broadcast team.
Oh, got you. Yes.
So you can, when you watch it on the app, you can choose if you want it in Japanese or English.
Fire.
Which
that's dope. Very fire. That's very fire.
I feel like that sometimes will stop you from watching Mexican wrestling and Japanese wrestling.
Because you got to translate.
I don't know what this is.
I'm not trying to subtitle and watch wrestling. That's too much. You know what I mean? I don't care how much AI you smack on top of that.
I don't want to read it.
I don't want to read it. I have to see the super kick. I can't read it.
Right, and especially they get into like the stories of what's going on. They start telling you something, and you miss something because you're reading. You're like, wait, what? What did he say?
What happened?
Yeah.
And you know, I gotta have all 4 eyes on if you got subtitles, so don't do that to me, all right?
But great match.
Yeah.
But it had a weird finish.
Okay.
So it wasn't like he hit his finishing move, match done. It was more like ZSJ went to roll him up, he reversed the roll up, and then he got the pin. It almost felt like it wasn't supposed to end, and either there was an injury, or somebody kind of messed up, or something
happened in there.
But I mean, the way it ended, they just went on to Tanahashi getting the microphone, giving a whole big speech about everything. So I don't really know
what happened, what the end result of that really
is. But it was weird. If you watch it, you'll see at the end of that match, you're gonna be like, wait, it just ended?
Yeah.
That's kind of how it felt.
Yeah. I got you.
So, but a good match. Definitely, if you're going to watch match by match, that's a match to watch. I would definitely check that match out.
Absolutely.
From there, so you're going to like that. You thought that was good. So we had Yota Tsuji versus Yuya Uemura.
Yo, he is, bruh. Nah. You cheat coding. You had to.
Oh, I write him down.
I was about to say, not that you wrote him down, but like, was you like in the mirror? Because I would have been in the mirror, bro. Like,
I watch a lot of wrestling, and so a lot of these New Japan guys, right, have linked up with Tony Khan, and they come over and do AEW shows.
Yep.
So, and I've been following New Japan for years.
Got you.
So I know like some of these guys, like Tanahashi. Tanahashi's been around for years.
Yeah.
So I know who he is. It's funny because there's Hiroshi Tanahashi and Hiromu Takahashi.
Okay, see that's too. See what I'm saying? That's too much. That's too much, man. Listen, and I know I sound ignorant. Listen, I tell you a story. I told you about it a little bit earlier. I'm saying all of this, and they got their actual names. I got called British for my name. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on. This lady clearly didn't understand the history in this country, and she had a British accent. I think she was messing with me, bro. But again,
I would have loved
to
to see your face on that,
bro. I was with the kids too, so it was like. I wish I had that dude's mask, bro. Like, yes, I told you in my comment, I was like, in my head, disclaimer, I drop kicked out that lady, all right? I drop kicked her from the top ropes and then gave her one of them Eddie Guerrero frog splashes. Like, bro, it was crazy. I had a whole fight with this lady in my head.
What's funny is you were like, yo, she didn't even realize it. She
really didn't. She really didn't. Like I could tell, you know what I'm saying? I'm savvy enough where, like, and the beauty is, too, is when they think you're super ignorant, sometimes they don't hide their hand well. So, like, I could tell what it was. But anyway, back to what you were saying here with this gentleman's name. Please repeat that one more time, because that was amazing.
So there was Yota Tsuji, and then there's Yuya Uemura.
Jeez.
And then when I was talking to the two that are close, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Hiromu Takahashi.
It's crazy.
It took me a long time to recognize each of them. Because
I was about to say, like,
is that Tanahashi or Takahashi? Is it Hiroshi or Hiromu?
Yeah.
Which is which?
Yep. And then a lot of them have the same names, too. So it's like you got to, like, figure that out sometimes, too.
And this is going to sound racist, but a lot of them look the same.
Oh. I didn't say nothing. You know what I mean? Y'all not going to samurai me, no Yakut, nothing, all right? I didn't say nothing. All right,
but it's wild too because some of the looks they go for, right? They have these looks and they don't want to just look like every other Japanese guy. So they like try to Americanize the look and do these different things. And you're like, you have a match with these two Japanese guys that both have mullets. And he's just like, what?
Wait. So you got a little Japan with a little 8 Mile? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's what I love about the flavors of. They made Ben and Jerry's look crazy, bro, because there's so much more flavors to life when you're watching wrestling and all the character development and the different creative ways that people come up with things. It's really cool, man.
Japan's weird because they have this thing, they call them young lions.
Yeah.
So when you come in as a rookie in Japan, it's not like in WWE where you're like, oh, look at the new rookie, boom, here he is.
Yeah.
Nah, you come in and you don't have a gimmick. You wear black shorts, black boots, and so you come out and you do your thing.
It's like a boot camp.
Yeah, and you learn your craft.
So basically, what they should have did with Jay Cargill.
Right.
Got you.
Right.
Got you.
So then, after you do your thing as a young lion, they send you on excursion. It's called, and basically, it's like, okay, you leave Japan, Go to Mexico, go to the U.S., go to Australia, go somewhere.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then go do your thing.
That's smart.
And then you come back with back with a gimmick and who you are.
You picked your special moves up along the way. You learn some ins and out of the game. You get traveled. You get a little bigger, broader perspective. That's really smart.
Right.
That's a good development.
And that's what they do. So a lot of these guys, it's weird because you look back at it and you're like, I remember when that guy was a young lion.
Yep.
And like I said, they're all the same. When they have a young lion match, you got a match with like 8 guys in the ring.
And they all wearing the same thing.
Like, the only thing that's different is their hair. Other than that, they got black wrestling tights, black boots, like no top, no gloves, no shit, nothing. That's it. You have to look plain.
Yeah.
Because you're a young lion, you're learning.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that would be difficult to differentiate. Yes.
But those are usually like opening matches. Those are the ones that aren't like deep on the card, and they're like, oh, we're gonna have a young lion match tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of time it's because these are guys that are like getting close to excursion.
Yeah.
So they kind of want to give you that little.
I was about to say it's cool too because like you can like it's a more organic way to build up your fans too. Like that diehard fan that watches those matches like yourself, you get to like grow with that character from the seed phase. So that's pretty dope.
Right. And these 2 guys were young lions, and they've had a bunch of matches ever since then that came up. This match was a good match, but I couldn't get into it.
Okay.
And it's me and my idea of what I like in a wrestler.
Yeah.
Some of the Japanese guys just don't do it for me. Gotcha. So it is what it is. It's nothing against them. It's not that they're not good. It's not that they don't have good character development. It's just it doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah. I can understand that. So, I mean, it's like some music. You know what I mean? It's like you know how it is.
Yeah. Or actor, everything. There's always something that you're just like, everything. I don't know. Yeah. Like I don't like.
I think it's weird because sometimes I have those moments where it's like I can't put my finger on it, but it ain't my cup of tea, man.
I have never ever watched the what's the movie with Neo?
Matrix.
I've never watched any of the Matrix.
None of them?
No. I don't like Keanu Reeves.
Wait, time out. I am, as much as we talk about systems thinking, the world, I would have swore he watched every single, at least, listen, I understand because I hear you because I have some actors too. At least watch the first one because it's not really about him. The rest of them became more about him, but the first one in itself was like, you know how like the first book is like the one?
Yeah.
It was the closest to the story.
Yeah.
The written story. And it was more about the rest of the characters. So, like, that's why Lawrence Fishburne was such a big role in that first one, being Morpheus.
Yeah.
So I think if you watch the first one at least, you might get something out of it without having to be like, every 2 seconds.
And it's more of just that, like, I can't, like, Keanu Reeves, he was great in Bill and Ted. He was great in that, what was the movie, Point Break, where he's like the surfer. Stoner cop. Like, he's good at that.
I love Point Break. I love that movie.
But then you put him in these movies when he's this action hero, and I'm just like, dude, I would drop kick you and you're get out of here. You're the one? We're screwed.
I mean, you know what I respect it though? Because like most people are only able to kick off one of those franchises. It was pretty amazing that he was able to kick off John Wick and got it to go as many movies as it did. Because I'm going to tell you right now.
Another thing I never watched.
That fourth one, listen, again, same thing. The first one, cool. Second one, good follow-up. By the time you get to 3 and 4, it just tapers off, man. It's just it's just straight to the gimmick. It's all just how many people can I kill? Like if you actually put like a kill count on, which also sometimes is good because like this is like I don't care who you are, this is completely unrealistic. This is an action movie, you know what I'm saying? Versus like some of the Bourne movies that convince me like I'll beat your ass in that little stall right there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's realistic enough where it's like I could do that. Whereas John Wick and Keanu, a lot of his movies, I agree with you though. It like just tapers off a lot. Oh, come on, man! Don't tell me you didn't see Speed.
That's when I was just like, I can't believe this guy. That was the movie that did it for me.
I knew that.
Like, no,
I knew it. I said, which one was it? And some in my head said it was Speed. Mm-hmm. It was Speed. It was
because that was that movie. It was just like
the bad guy was cheesy. Yeah, it was Speed.
And you're just like, this dude saves the day. Nah.
But I feel like Keanu's one of those actors though that like a lot of general public appreciate just on his like human side. I don't know how much of that is a ploy because they're actors, so you never know what's real or not.
Yeah.
But I could say I like to judge people based on their actions versus how they talk about things, and based on his actions, he does pretty well with a lot of the stuff that he does in the community and for people, or just random acts of kindness. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of looked into some of like his charitable work. He actually has a lot of great charitable work.
And it's funny because when I tell people I don't like Keanu, they're like, "What?
Yeah,
how?"
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's not that I don't like him. I just don't find him believable in the roles he plays.
Yeah,
that's what more of it is.
Yep.
Like, Bill and Ted, great.
Yep.
Point Break, great, because he fits that. You look at him and you're like, oh yeah, stoner surfer. Yep, all day long.
Yep.
But when you're like, this guy's saving the day. He, like, what's his name from the Titanic?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
He before he bulked up and grew into a man.
Yeah.
He did that movie. I can't even think of the name of it, but it was a movie with they got stranded on an island, and he had to like
Shutter Island.
Nope. No. This was before that. Before he like grew into an adult. He was younger.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's like a fight in the water with a shark.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And he like beats the shark up.
I can't remember the name of that. Yeah, that was
so
so
unrealistic. Tall and scrawny, skinny, and I was like,
no, bro. One bite. It's over. See you later. You're floating somewhere, limbs off. Yeah.
But then he bulked up. He got big, and he came back for Shutter Island and Blood Diamond.
Yeah.
And in those movies, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, now this is believable because he like looks big. Like he looks like he put some beef on.
Yeah, Ben Affleck gave me that same vibe when I saw him bulk up for Batman. Even though Batman still was not a believable role for Ben Affleck, I respected that he bulked up for the role. Or like even when like he was in The Town, I was surprised that he was that he got that muscular for the role or whatever. You know what I mean? So like it is. I
appreciate when you do that.
Yeah. I do appreciate when you match the character to the scene and to the story. You know, versus like it has to make sense.
Right.
It has to like
you can only suspend my ability of disbelief so far and so long.
Correct.
And wrestling does that a lot too. So to like transition back into that, I get a lot of that in wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll have tons of conversations throughout the whole thing of guys that I'm like, that guy's not believable.
Yeah.
We look at that guy. AEW does it all the time. I'm gonna pick on Tony Khan. But he loves the false finishes where guys the other day, Sammy Guevara took a tombstone pile drive off the second rope and kicked out in a 1 count. Like, what?
Nah, that's like, at least a 2.5, bro.
That's not
like what?
And if you saw Sammy Guevara, I'm gonna show you a picture of him afterwards. You're gonna be like, that dude?
That dude?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
So things like that drive me nuts with wrestling.
All I know is that since I've been re-entering this area, I definitely am going to seek out and find Tony Khan because this guy sounds like he parties.
Oh, absolutely. We'll have to go to Jacksonville.
Hey, man.
His dad owns the
Jaguars. Yeah.
So they do a lot of stuff.
They took a mean L this week, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, they took a mean L this week. The Jaguars.
But so did AEW. Kind of just we'll get into that after we finish this.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll have a little talk about that. So that match, good match. Like I said, I just didn't get into the characters of them. And part of it's probably the language barrier, too.
Yep.
Because even when, it's like you said, I don't want to read subtitles.
Yeah.
And even when they're doing their thing, and then you got the American announcer telling me what he said, it doesn't hit the same.
It
doesn't hit the same when you got someone like, listen, brother, this is what I'm going to do. And the guy's like, well, he just said that he's going to show up next week. And we'll see.
You better watch.
Right. And you're like...
That's a fact.
So it just makes it harder for me. But anyway, good match. From there, we went on to another tag team match. It was Shota Umino and Kaito Kiyomiya versus the House of Torture. That's Ren Narita and this guy called Evil.
Okay.
I don't like Evil.
Okay.
I don't like a lot. It's kind of like the ongoing thing.
We have to have our segment, like what Sean hates everything.
Right. If we made a list of wrestlers that I hate, you'd be like, wow.
You're like, so how do you watch wrestling?
Right. But he's another guy. It's his look.
Yeah.
I don't buy the look. It's like he wants to be kind of like the Undertaker, but not like the Undertaker.
Yeah, got you.
I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me. This match starts out. Shota Umino pulls up on a motorcycle, drives in, huge entrance for him. And like I wrote it in my notes. I have no use for Evil. I can't stand him.
Like there's nothing I can see practical.
Yeah, I just don't like him. And he's been world champion there. Like they push him. People like him. Not me. Don't like Evil at all. Match went well, but then they had a really cheap ref bump where like it was kind of like, dude, hit ref like this. Yeah. It was supposed to be way harder, I think.
Yeah. But it just didn't translate.
It just didn't translate well at all. And then the referee hits the ground, he's knocked out, and I'm like,
What?
From that?
Yeah, like, no, time out, guys.
And then Evil's crew the House of Torture gets in the ring and starts attacking the other guys and everything. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, I get what you were trying to do,
but you got to should have made
that.
Yeah, you got to sell it. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what, I think that's what happened when we were wrestling. It got to a point where, like, as you was talking about, like, they started there was an era, like, somewhere, I'm trying to remember exactly what year or period it was, but it just, like, I feel like people didn't have the skills. Like, they had the gimmicks and da-da-da-da, but it was like, you still, like you said, like, I know what this is, but you still got to sell it to me. Like, I know what an action movie is, but you still got to sell me that scene. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. I know he's not coming and really shooting
everybody. Correct.
But make me
feel
in the
like,
moment.
Bro, you blew that head off. Yeah. Wow. I just saw brain matter hit the camera, son. You sold it. You know what I'm saying? Sell me something.
And if they sold that ref bump, it would have been way better.
I gotta do the podcast. I shouldn't be doing this. Is blasphemy. But I drunk too much of that rock, so I'm going to go take a piss break. Sean's going to keep y'all entertained. I'll be right back. Look at me. I'm knocking over this.
Yeah, look at you. Making a mess already. Making a mess over here.
I'm horrible.
Yeah, that's why we sit him on the side all the time. He can't make a mess on the side. No, but so going into this match, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Evil. But he came out. They had that match, the ref bump, all this. Then House of Torture wins the match, which... It was what it was. I feel like that's a crew that they're going to push. Umino and Kiyomaya, not a team that you look at as, oh, this is a future team. Like, they're singles guys. They work together. And I know Japan does a lot of this, putting guys together, tons of crews, factions, and all that. But I as much as I don't like Evil, this was the way to go. They did it right. They made the right decision with Ren Narita and Evil winning this match. It upset the crowd because Shota Umino, huge fan favorite there. Like I said, had that big entrance. It kind of felt like he was going to win because of how they presented him. Sometimes it's that presentation. You present a guy as, this is the guy. Like I said at the beginning when we talked about TJP showing up and what they were doing with him and how they presented him to everybody. Well, same idea here with Shota Umino. And then having him lose in the manner that he did was great, especially at this point in the show. Now we're 4 matches in, plus the Rambo, which we had our final 4 in that. We don't need to get into that. You can go check that out. But at this point in the show, we're at about almost halfway through. Good move to do that and to give the win to House of Torture. And that'll come back later on. Because we're going to come back to Evil. Evil plays more into the show later on, as much as I don't like it. But it is what it is. So from there, we went into the Never Openweight Championship. One of the biggest things that people talk about with New Japan is the same thing that people complain about with AEW, except it's on a much grander level. They have way too many titles. There's a title for everything. There's a title for everyone. So far, we had the Junior Tag Team Champion, the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, or the Junior Weight Tag Team Champions. So we have those titles defended. Then we had the TV title defended. Now we have the Never Openweight Championship. There's a whole batch of Never Championships. There's Strong Style Championships. There's your regular championships. The title picture in Japan is super convoluted, in my opinion. Too many titles, too much going on, hard to follow. Who's who? What titles does this guy have? What titles he going for? What's being defended? Trios, this, that. I think they have a regular trios, never open weight trios, junior trios. They have like the junior tag, the never open weight tag, the regular tag. Hell, the tag team championship match on this show, not the one we already saw. That was the junior weight tag team championship. But the regular tag team championship later is 2 tag team titles, 2 champions against each other. So we're in one show, and we got 3 tag team champions. Way too much. Like, they're just doing too much over there with that. But anyway, never open weight championship on the line. Tama Tonga versus Shingo Takagi. Shingo Takagi, another guy, huge in Japan, done a lot of things, has a great history with the company. And Tama Tonga, of course, the son of Haku. Haku, you remember Haku?
Yes, absolutely.
You came back in right for the right time. But now I was kind of talking about how there's way too many titles.
Oh, way too many.
In Japan, they got so many. It's nuts. But so Tama Tonga, son of Haku. Haku, that dude's one of the baddest dudes ever.
Yeah.
Like if you talk to old wrestlers or read from old wrestlers, they tell you all the time, Tama Tonga.
Yeah.
I mean Haku.
Yeah.
That's the guy you don't want to meet in the street and have to fight.
Like for real.
Yeah, if you had to really fight Haku.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nah.
Sorry.
Not for play. Got you.
And it's funny because when you look back when we were kids watching the Islanders, Haku and Tama, when he came up on his own, you're like, oh, this guy's good, but he wasn't like world champion material.
Got you.
That guy would kick any of the wrestlers that we watched. He would have kicked all their asses.
Yeah, that's funny that's what I said about Ronda, right? Like it didn't translate the same in wrestling. I think it's because you don't know how to like play that role.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not a skill set that you have. So
like if I'm gonna beat your ass, I'm gonna beat your ass. Now you want me to pull back on it?
Yeah. Like wait. You don't want me to hit you? Oh.
I'm gonna send you a video later that someone sent to me the other day. It's wicked funny. It's a video of Hulk. It's this guy he steals this woman's purse like on a boardwalk.
Yeah.
And he starts running with it, and he looking back and he bumps into Hulk Hogan, and falls back on the ground. And Hogan's like, oh, and he knocks the guy down, and then he does a leg drop. But he wrestles him.
Yeah,
he doesn't really hit the leg drop.
Yeah.
And he picks him up, grabs him by the shirt, and he does this.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And everybody's circling around and they're cheering it on and everything. And like,
pounding him out.
And he's like, and he climbs up and like jumps off the top, like down onto this dude, but he doesn't like really hit him. He braces with his arms and his legs.
We all jumping around.
Hogan falling down now.
Right, he's attacking me, bro.
And
like,
everyone's
like, stop talking about me.
Right. And everyone starts cheering him on, right? And
yeah.
He's like hugging the couple that he helped to get the purse back. And the guy's laying on the ground and he like sits up. Nobody really hit him. So he sits up in the sweat. He's like, what? The purse is right there.
Oh my God.
He picks up the purse and just starts walking away.
Oh my God. He sold it. Yeah. That's what I mean, though. Like, sell it. That's all I'm saying. Is sell it.
And then whenever it turns away, get up and go do your thing.
I would have literally said, like, hey, Hulk, you sold it, bro. Like, they got away with my purse, but damn, you sold it. I thought you beat that dude. In oblivion. That's hilarious. You got to send me that video.
But so this match, Tama Tonga,
yep.
Shingo Takagi, banger. It was a banger. I am a huge Tama Tonga fan. Surprise! I like somebody. I don't hate everybody.
I was about to say, we gotta have like a special noise. I'm gonna throw a special noise when you said that. I'm gonna just so y'all know.
Oh man! So it was a hoss fight.
Yeah.
Two big dudes just going at it.
Yep.
A term that some people use in wrestling. It goes back to something a few years back. Big meaty man.
Hey yo! Hey!
Right, big meaty man.
All this stuff, man.
Yeah, nuts. But hey, great match. Go watch that match. You want to watch again? Way too many titles in New Japan. This is for the Never Openweight Championship. I don't even. Yeah, I know. Never Openweight. So I feel like it's like anybody. I don't know.
That's why I was like, never open. Wait, what?
Yeah, I got a bunch of them. So go watch that match. It was dope. And then from there, Dolph Ziggler shows up with his brother. Dolph Ziggler was in WWE for a while. He got cut a while back.
Yep.
And he just randomly shows up with his brother, and he's got a weird gimmick. Google it and look for his like promo video, because his angle is he's most wanted, and he's playing like a Hollywood gimmick.
Yeah.
So his promo is like almost a trailer. For a zombie movie.
Yeah.
So it's kind of wild. You're like, okay, this is like different. What? But Japan does stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because that.
So he's almost like, he got a multiverse thing going on right there. Like he's giving like an alternative universe thing going on there. That's
right. And Japan does a lot of that. Because like that whole culture has the anime and the superheroes and all that stuff. So for them, it's huge. A little cheesy on the American side of it.
Yeah.
But I get it.
I get it.
It's Japan. You got to do what works.
Correct. It's the land of anime. You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. Yes.
So he came out before the next match and got into it. He's going to end up doing his thing here, and he's going to have a few matches. Absolutely.
Okay.
So from there, we had a champ versus champ match.
Yep.
So we already had the junior heavyweight tag team championship match to open the show.
Yes.
This is the IWGP champs, which is like their main title, IWGP. It's the IWGP tag team champs versus the strong style tag team champs.
What?
I told you way too many titles.
What is going on? This is what I'm talking about. Like, listen, you're making it too complicated. Okay, I have to have like a wrestling encyclopedia at this point.
Dude, it's like
that's crazy.
Japan is like...
You just gave me like 4 different acronyms, bro.
It's like the Oprah show, bro. You get a title. You get a title. You get a title. Everybody gets a title. Open weight.
All right. Everybody wins. Got you.
Well, and I feel like they developed the strong style titles to kind of bring over and defend here. Because a lot of the strong style titles get defended in America more. New Japan has really been trying to put their footprint into America. Yeah. So I could be completely wrong on how they did it, but just the way it comes across to me is they keep their IWGP, even though they defend them here, they're more of, hey, this is Japan, these are our big titles, we're doing some stuff in America,
Got you.
These are the titles for the guys that fight in America more.
Got you.
Do you know what I mean? And you get
got you.
Like you'll get a strong champion that's from AEW. Or like just an American guy will hold that title.
And there's some crossover there. It makes sense.
Right, and it's still the same
This is
brand.
what I was talking about the last time. Remember I'm saying, like, Japan playing is smart. You gotta have some crossover. Well, I guess when you're the biggest, you don't care about crossover, so I get that. But when you're climbing, I mean, that's a smart move, man, the crossover.
Right. It's a way to be able to be like, listen, I don't want to make my main champ on my Japanese company this dude in the US.
Yes.
But
there's some room.
If I make this guy the strong style champ,
you can bring some of that base with you. That's smart.
And he's like our number one champ in the strong style division.
The thing that I could never take into like, because like wrestling should be able to make, because everybody talks about the boxing arena and everybody talks about the MMA arena, but I'm like, they both should be blushing at wrestling, because what wrestling has become. You know, like, I remember having the little lunch boxes, the Hulk lunch boxes and all this stuff, but I
got a Hulk Hogan
wasn't
lunch box.
As cool as it is now.
This shirt, my girl got me that, and she gave it to me wrapped in a Hulk Hogan lunchbox.
Wow.
I thought I got the lunchbox, and she's like, no, open it up.
And then open this.
I was psyched about the Hulk Hogan lunchbox. Open it up and got this. I was
That's fire. That's fire. Oh, you found you one, huh? All right. I see how it is. Okay, I see you, bro. I know what time it is when you find them. That's crazy. There's thoughtful. Like, the thoughtful was already in the box. You know what I'm saying? In the lunchbox.
In the lunchbox, right? Fact.
You gave me like a Russian doll. You have me open it up and there's something else in it. Oh Lord. She trying to get married.
You all should be able to see it, but if you can't, it's crisp.
No, she gonna stop. No, hold on. Time out. Let's not comb over this. That right there is, listen, man, you better watch out. That's how they get you right there. That's how they get you. Being that thoughtful. Oh, somebody trying to get a ring. She gonna be like, you ain't gonna be calling me your girl too much longer.
Hey, listen, not to get off on relationship stuff, but that girl, she sent me to go visit a female friend of mine. We're just friends. 100% just friends. But a Christmas gift was, hey, I'm sending you to go visit your friend in Florida. People are like, wait, what? Your girl sent you to go visit your female friend in Florida?
I am 10 years in, 11 years in. Excuse me, don't beat me up. That ain't happening.
She would never do that.
Hell no, bro.
She's like, you want to go to Florida? I'll send you in a box.
Mine is licensed to carry, so she really would threaten me.
She's like, you'll be in a box and you can go to Florida.
Out here in the street, she's like, no. If me and you get into it, you're going to jail. I'm just writing a letter. I smoked him.
Facts.
All right, so ain't gonna be none of that. But yeah, man, that's crazy. That's actually really dope, though. Like you reminded me too, because I want to bring it on for another episode when I come on and kick it with you. That I lost my mother in 2019, but one of the pictures that I had when we were gonna do the first episode, I just found them again, and it was pictures of my mother and my brother, and they had met Eddie Guerrero. Like it was like before he had passed too. So really cool pictures and moments that they had. When they met him down south. They met him down south, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But so let's get through this, because I feel like this show's going to go way longer than I was wanting to, but it is. So this match was Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto, who were the IWGP Tag Team Champions, and also won the World Tag League tournament they have. And they defended against Gorillas of Destiny, who were the strong openweight Tag Team Champions.
Okay.
So not the never open weight, the strong open weight.
Open weight.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
And then never open weight, and then
It's nuts.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I need him to get me back into the game.
It's confused. It's so convoluted. But anyway, this was a rehash. This match was the finals of the World Tag League this year. So it was a rehash of that. And a lot of crazy things, because Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto came in as tag team champions, and they won World Tag League.
Okay.
First time ever that the team that won World Tag League came into Wrestle Kingdom already the tag champs.
Okay.
Usually they're coming in going for the tag titles. Yeah. And usually they win it.
Yep.
But so this was different. It's like, well, what are we going to do? We've got two tag champs going each other. Gorillas of Destiny ended up coming out dripping in gold. I think the Gorillas of Destiny, great faction. So I don't know if you know about who the Bullet Club is.
I'm familiar, but not.
So Bullet Club is Japan's homage to the NWO.
Okay.
And they came in, and when it first started, it was all the white dudes that were wrestling in Japan, and they formed this crew of like their outsider crew of Americans.
Like, we're the outsiders. Over.
Right, but they did Bullet Club, so they're like it's very close.
So they went to Japan and felt like black people.
Basically.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to, anybody who didn't. Okay. So they went to Japan, they felt like outsiders, and they formed a gang. No, I'm just, I'm playing.
And they were like, listen, but we can't be a black gang. Why don't we be that white gang that Hulk Hogan had? Just look at me like that. I can't be mad.
Like, NWO is diverse. Yeah, X-Pac.
And they do the same thing. They throw up the Too Sweet and all of that. Like I mean, they stopped after a while because once WWE had the rights to it, they started, like, cease and desisting people from...
got you.
We own that. You can't do that no more. You're not throwing that up. Nope.
They'll let you flirt with it, but you can't take it on a full date.
Right. Fact. Yeah. But it is what it is. It's the business, though. I get it.
You
like,
respect it.
Listen, they have the Usos. You know who the Usos are?
Yes.
They've recently split up. And Jay Uso is on Raw.
Yeah.
And I hate the word, but he uses it all the time as like the big thing because everyone loves the word yeet.
Yeet!
He's got a shirt that says yeet. Well, there was already a wrestler working the independent scene.
Okay.
Who was using that. And did
he cease and desist him?
Yeah, because he got a trademark. He owns the rights to it.
Got you. Okay. That's what I was about to say. You lose if you got less money and no rights. So, smart move.
And if you have the rights already, like, I don't care how much money you got. Like, I got the rights.
Correct.
If you want them, we can talk.
Yeah, smart.
And somehow they ended up working a deal out. Because at first it was on
probably
TV.
Licensed it to them.
They got cease and desisted, so they had to blur it out. They had a
so they had a shirt on the
They had a shirt on the website that you could buy.
Yep.
They had to pull the shirt.
Wow.
Because he's like, "Oh, you got to pay me for that."
Yeah.
I own that.
I wonder if they did a percentage deal on that.
I think they must have.
They had to,
because they brought it back, and now he uses it again. And they even went a step further. The genius marketing of WWE.
Yep.
They made a yeet shirt where the yeet is blurred out.
Wow, playing on the whole situation. Yo, I'm telling you, you can't go wrong today, bro. You can play on everything. Yo, fam, I told you about the whole thing with Comcast. Listen, I'm going to give y'all a little quick tidbit. So I called Comcast to deal with the situation. I had to move my modem down here, right? And basically, they accidentally disconnected my tenant's modem, right? And basically, I called them, and I got a call center. You know where. I'm not going to be crazy. I called. It ain't here, right? And the guy was on the phone, and he literally hit me with an F off and hung up on me, bro, for my regular call. You know what I mean? Like, it was pretty wild. So I've been harassing Comcast for a week. But my point is, I made a whole post on, like, all their social media. And after I made the post, I said, they could play on this and somehow still win. That's how it is now. So you can't really lose.
If you know, you're like, I'm going to take that and spin it and make it a good thing. And here's the greatest part about it, right? That once everybody knew that this was good and like, oh, they settled this.
Yeah.
Here comes Jey Uso on TV with a blurred out yeet shirt. Everyone's like, wait,
did they not settle it?
Why is this blurred?
That's great.
And you find out, oh, that's actually how they sell the shirt.
Yeah, that's great.
Dope.
That's really smart. That's really smart because it's also like a period piece too. You know what I mean? Like if that ever doesn't continue on, having the blurred shirt is a part of that story timeline. That's fire. It's really smart.
Right. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Like so many different programs can learn from wrestling. If you're not into it, you're completely out of tune. And I think there should be a course from entrepreneurs to learn some stuff that has happened through wrestling, like in a large way, good and bad. In the fields of marketing. But it's all there. Yeah. Especially from the imaginative creative space. It's all there over 50 years, 60. How long are we talking since WWE?
I mean, Hulkamania, 40 years.
So we're talking minimum 40 years.
And they've been around since way before then, but when they started to really get momentum, once they got on TV, I'd say 40 years, 50 years.
Even when you're talking like damage control from wrestling, because like you know, we'll be talking about that in the wrestling.
Not the tag team damage control.
Oh, yeah, no. But when we're talking like damage control as far as like, you know, like you F up or one of your guys messes up out there, like I think like wrestling, whoever does their PR has, like, for example, whoever was able to bring it full circle for CM Punk to be back and what we're going to go into in a little bit is just completely insane.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's value there that a lot of other businesses can learn.
And they're good with it. And if you look at other social media, some social media gets it. Wendy's
gets it. Yes.
Wendy's connects with, and they realize wrestling universe is huge.
Yes.
They use it all the time.
Correct.
Wendy's will tweet out wrestling related stuff.
They also use black culture all the time.
Like
I'm not, but they do it tastefully. You see what I'm saying? Like it's very thoughtful.
Whoever
it's
runs that
cheesy.
PR there and their social media,
like,
they
remember when it was beefing with like Burger King, bro, and it was post going back. That was so fire, bro. No, they had a Wendy's mixtape. I actually listened to it. It was fire, guys. Like, all right, whatever. But you know, now that you say that, I can see how they picked some of that up with their wrestling relationship. Mm-hmm. That's all they did. Now that I'm thinking about it, the whole beef with Burger King, that was all a screen right up for a wrestling match.
It was
crazy, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And think about it. Because of that, we just had like a 3-minute conversation about Wendy's and Burger King and didn't even mention the Golden Arches. Right? And that's what it's about.
That's a fact. We dubbed them real quick.
Right. I'm saying.
Wow.
I'm saying.
So again, you can learn a lot from wrestling and the business, man. But yeah.
So they got those belts. So when we go into the next match, another title match, Junior Heavyweight Championship.
There's so many titles. It's like your whole show is title matches.
And this is Hiromu Takahashi.
Okay.
Not to be confused with Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yeah, okay. Got it. He
fought El Desperado. El Desperado, big fan favorite, but so is Takahashi. Takahashi's wild. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I had to say when he came out was, "What the is he wearing?" I showed you that. He came out with this outfit. You'll see it because we're gonna put this up there. He's got like eyeballs hanging off of it, and you watch the video of him coming out. He like even had it went as far as when he first came out. He had like a hood on that had one big giant eyeball in the middle of it, and he pulls it off, and now he's got his head, but off of his thing that he's wearing, it's got like eyeballs hanging off.
It's crazy. I can only describe it as like seeing a real life acid trip without being on acid.
Right.
It was very very trippy. Very trippy.
But that's his whole thing.
You'll see it.
That's his whole thing. That's his, like, he's always been that guy that does these wild, weird things.
That's very, 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 again, good marketing, man. Like, you got to be creative to stand out, especially when it's been like this for so long. So,
and especially when your name's Hiromu Takahashi and Hiroshi Tanahashi is also in the same brand, you got to have something to make yourself stand up. Correct. So you're like, oh,
look at me.
Wild gear, that's Takahashi.
That's it. Yeah, got you. Takahashi.
Despy wins the title back. Amazing match. Another match. You want to go watch a single match? This is one to watch. Takahashi Desperado. Absolutely great match. Go watch it. From there we went to the Global Championship.
Yes.
So this is a championship that kind of has become it was the IWGP US Championship.
Yep.
And then John Moxley had it. He lost it to Will Ospreay. And Will Ospreay said, "I'm changing this. And now it's going to be the Australian Championship." And then they just made it the Global Championship.
Okay.
Because he's from Australia.
Yeah, got
so it's kind of like, I'm not going to be the U.S. champ.
Just took it and was like, nah, I'm from the Outback.
So, and Will Ospreay's dope. Will Ospreay's dope. If you haven't seen Will Ospreay, watch a Will Ospreay match. You can watch this one, but watch any Will Ospreay match. I've been lucky enough to have seen him in person. Okay. I saw him at Club Fete in Providence at a GCW show.
Wow.
He came out to it. It was funny because he came out to this show, and you're from another country.
Yeah.
It's not like he comes here and does a lot of work here.
Yeah.
But there's still like Americanized things that are a little bit different.
Yeah.
So he's out here talking, like he gets on the mic after the thing and does this whole thing, thanking his mom and talking about his mom and all this and that. And people are like kind of like
what, bro?
Booing him, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yo, what's going on?"
Hear that shit?
And someone says, That's Father's Day. This dude came out thinking, didn't say a word about his dad. It was like, my mom, and this and that, my mom and people. He's like, I don't know why you guys are mad because I'm talking about my mom. And someone was like, it's Father's Day. And he's like, oh, I didn't even realize it was Father's Day. I'm sorry.
Like, where's your dad, bro?
But that's that little slight disconnect of, oh yeah, I forgot that's what's going on in America today. My bad, but I love my mom.
Wow.
Great. This dude puts on a great. I got a fist bump from him.
Wow.
At that shit. My girl knows how to get it. We go to a wrestling show, and if you go to GCW when they do shows, they have like some seats, but then it's standing room.
Okay.
So you get in the standing room, you get what you get.
Wiggle. Yeah.
Well, you've seen my girl.
Yeah.
My girl's a good-looking blonde girl.
Yep.
You don't see a lot of them at wrestling shows.
Yeah.
So she starts squeezing herself through the crowd. All the nerds are like, oh, here, go ahead. I just follow her right through. So I go to a show with her.
White privilege, bro. This shit's bullshit. This is not cool, bro.
But we end up front row. You go back and watch, and if you can find anything online with any shows from GCW that happen at Club Fett, I think we went to 2 or 3 of them when they did them here. Yeah. You'll see me, and you'll see her, because she gets right up to the ring, and she's like smacking the ring, and I'm like, yo, look at, who are you?
Like she just turned into the whole thing, right?
But if we were sitting here and wrestling's on TV, she's like, I don't want to watch this.
Yo,
she's that live. I want to be live.
He doesn't understand what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's going on, but she's trying to get you to put a ring on his son. That's crazy.
No, she doesn't like it. To her, she's like, I don't want to watch it on TV. It's
no, but the point that she went in space and turned into the... For you? It's the
vibe. When you're there live at that, it's like watching, if we were watching a concert on TV compared to being there in person.
I know. Yeah, of course.
Like that, to her, that's what it is. She's like, I don't want to watch this on TV. It's stupid on TV. Yeah. But if I'm there in person, and I can be right in the front, and GCW comes right out, like, there's a couple shots where she's like, you didn't explain to me I was going to be on TV like that. Because they came out and wrestled right in front of us, and there's like, camera comes up, and here's me, and her right next to me, and she's like, that was me. And I had to explain to her the hard camera. Yeah. So you guys probably all understand what the hard camera is, but for some reason you don't. The hard camera is that camera that just sits there and doesn't move. It's your hard cam. And when GCW does shows at FET, the balcony up top, that's where the hard camera is set, right to the ring. Right to the ring. So it's like right there, and standing room's on this side. Wow. So she's like, the whole show, she's right there. And I'm like, you see, everyone's wearing black t-shirts. You're wearing a red sweater.
Sticking right out. Red sweater, blonde hair. Here we go, baby.
Banging on the ring, getting into it. And she's like, oh my God, you didn't explain to me. I was going to be like, I said, I told you the hard camera was
You got to get a clip from it. We got to find a clip of that. We're going to meme that. We got to put that on our show for sure. We definitely got to be like, yo, we got to find like a cute little way to express that banging on the mat.
Throw that, but she gets into it and she loves being there. But that's when we first saw Will Ospreay in person. Got you. And I pointed out to her whenever we see him, I'm like, you remember this guy, right? She's like, I think so. He looks familiar. Yeah. I'm like, the guy that was talking about his mom on Father's Day.
Yo, like, that is hilarious. That again, these are all. There's so many memeable moments and all of this stuff, man. Like, I wish I was there for that.
It was hilarious because, like I said, he didn't get it. He didn't understand why people. He's like, what?
You're like,
I'm talking about my mom. Why are you booing my mom,
bro? Tell her to send those ovaries home, bro.
He's like, I don't get this. Why are you guys booing my mom? It's my mom. And someone was like, it's Father's Day, and he was like, oh.
Your mom puts raisins in the potato salad, bro.
But Will, great athlete. That guy's amazing. I don't like Moxley. Surprise.
Breaking news.
But if you followed me, you know I don't like him. I think that Jon Moxley. Do you know who Jon Moxley is?
No.
So he was in WWE for a while as Dean Ambrose with the Shield when it was Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose when they came together.
So he's changed his name now.
He uses his real name, Jon Moxley.
Okay, so he uses actual government now?
I think it is. I think that's his government. Yeah. But so he's in AEW, but he's just a huge overactor.
Yeah. Got oversell.
Yeah, it's way too much for my liking. I'm just like, oh, stop. Yeah. The guy bleeds in every match.
He's one of those. Okay.
Stop. Okay. Like, he wants to be Mick Foley.
I was about to say, he wants to be Mankind. Yep.
Yeah, that's who he wants to be, 100%.
So, isn't that what Mankind did? Wasn't he Mankind? He became Mick Foley, or wasn't?
Yeah, he was He was Cactus Jack, and he was Mankind, then he went to Mick Foley.
Okay, so is this what this guy's doing too?
No.
You talking about he's bleeding all the time? He just went from the other
Well, no, because he was Dean Ambrose in WWE, and you know WWE, when you leave,
you're
they're
not
like,
taking a name. That's right.
If that's not your real name, you can't be that.
That's right. Damn.
So he went there and became John Moxley. But he's the worst. I don't like him. People love John Moxley. And it's funny because you have your fans that really, really love him. Yeah. They're like, oh, he's so different and so much better in AEW. And I'm like, no, same guy. He just bleeds more.
Same guy. Just
he oversells more. And with me, like I said, there's little things that like drive me nuts.
Yep.
He does this thing all the time where he's constantly doing this.
Oh, he's a lick lipper. Okay.
I'm like, oh my God, stop licking your damn lips.
A lick lipper.
He is a lip licker, but his own lips.
Yeah.
Stop. I'm like, oh my God, you're bleeding and licking your lips.
You got me licking mine now, just thinking about it. Like, yo, I feel chapped, son. Hold on.
If I haven't seen John Moxley meet him in person, I hand him a thing of chapstick. I think you need this, bro. Yeah. Stop licking your lips.
Now you're going to give me some homework. I'm going to have to put together a clip.
Clips of him just licking his lips.
Like, what's up with this guy, man? And just put chapstick at the end. It's a good promo ad. You should, like, literally...
Right, chapstick.
Get some of that chapstick.
Chapstick, there you go. There you go. We're talking about how other companies can profit off of understanding wrestling. There you go.
There you go,
John Moxley. People love him. You want to get your sales up there? John Moxley.
There you go.
He came out with this, Red Hood cosplay. Like I don't know if you know Red Hood from the comic book.
Yeah.
So, you know the version that was Robin?
Correct, yeah.
He came out with that mask on his face that came out. So, and again, Japan.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yes.
So it like works.
Yes.
But he came out, did his thing. I felt like this match was a waste.
Why? What was it just like? It didn't go to the hype?
So it was John Moxley, it was Will Ospreay, and then the new leader of the Bullet Club is David Finlay.
Okay.
And David Finlay, to me, I don't understand why he's the leader of Bullet Club. I wrote that. Why is Finlay leader of Bullet Club again?
Why?
Why? And I went into this knowing, so John Moxley's an AEW guy.
Mm-hmm.
He had the U.S. Championship for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He lost it to Will Ospreay, who now carries as the Global Championship. And Will Ospreay just signed a contract with AEW.
Okay.
So you got John Moxley, who's with AEW, Will Ospreay, who's with AEW, and David Finlay, who's with New Japan. Who's going to win the title?
Yeah. Okay.
You know that Ospreay's leaving after the show.
Yeah.
He's dropping it.
Yep.
Why would he drop it to Moxley? That makes sense. He's going to go to Finlay so they can kind of establish something new with that title.
Yeah, okay.
Get new feuds because you already had the Moxley Ospreay feud. They'll be able to do that in the AEW.
See, it's kind of cool when you know the details that thoroughly and you understand the background. You can, like you said, you can see that arc and where it's going.
But it made the match a waste, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because I feel like, did anybody think Finlay wasn't winning? Like, did anybody say, "Oh, he might not win this match"? I feel like anybody, if you knew wrestling and in America, you're not watching Wrestle Kingdom if you don't.
Yeah, if you don't know, if you're not deep.
I mean?
Yeah, correct. So if you're that deep, then you should have known.
You know, you're like, it's like, Finlay's gonna win. I don't know why. He's garbage, but hey, whatever. He's gonna win this title. Yep. So I don't even know how good of a match it was because I couldn't get into it because I knew what the outcome was gonna be. I was like, Moxley's gonna bleed.
Yeah.
And Finlay's gonna walk out champion.
I can't watch movies if if I'm 10 minutes in and I already figured out the ending, like I'm turning it off. Yeah, I feel you on that. Like I have to I guess I only go through the pain just to see if I'm wrong.
Right.
Yeah. Like maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
But that's the thing when you're watching wrestling, you don't have to be like into the match the whole time.
Yeah.
So I watched the first 5 minutes were good.
Yeah.
Because they came out and it was supposed to be Moxley versus Ospreay. And then Finlay squeezed himself in there, right? Yep. And they were like, well, this is supposed to be me versus you. So how about this? First 5 minutes, let's take him out. And then we can handle what we were supposed to handle.
Got you.
So the first 5 minutes were the two of them beating up on Finlay.
Yeah,
and then once they had him kind of laid out outside the ring, they got in the ring and started fighting. Yep. But to me...
But you know what was going to happen.
Right.
I already figured it out,
so you just teamed up together to beat this guy up. Obviously, the way that story goes is he's going to come back and win it.
Nope, yep, got that. As soon as you said it, that's what I'm saying. I know enough about wrestling.
Or just a basic story for anything. That's what you're going to do.
Correct.
These two beat this guy up. The guy that got beat up is going to come back and win in the end. You're like, yeah.
Yep.
overcame the odds, and that's what they did. So,
but we love a good story, man. We love that stuff.
So, and Dolph Ziggler's still outside the ring at this point because he came and sat with the commentators. And Japan's weird how they do their thing because like the crowd's like set way back, and they kind of have like a queue to like come in and go.
Well, I seen that. Yeah. I've been doing like a little homework. It is weird looking. That is true. I was like, what is up with this thing going on here?
So he was over there and like one of those little crews of people like kind of like right off to the side of the ring, and Finlay wins the match, gets out the ring, and then approaches Dolph.
Okay.
And like holds the belt up to him, starts talking shit to him, and Dolph says, "You talking to me?" And then gets up and gets in his face. So again, you knew Finlay was gonna win. You knew it was gonna set something up, and now it's like, him and Dolph. We're bringing Dolph in. Now we're gonna have a new little thing going over the global title here. Yeah. Moving on from
as soon as you said, I said I know he went up to Dolph if he's there. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense.
So and it should be good, I guess. I don't like Finlay.
Yeah.
He's not like. When you look at guys that wrestle in Japan and you see Finlay, you're like, he doesn't fit these like top guys. He doesn't fit the leaders of the Bullet of the Bullet Club. Yeah. So AJ Styles,
absolutely,
former leader of the Bullet Club.
Absolutely.
Finn Balor, he's in WWE now.
No,
he's a former leader of the Bullet Club.
Okay.
Kenny Omega.
No kidding. Yes.
Former leader of the Bullet Club.
Okay.
These are all like top guys.
Okay,
and now you got this David
now you got this guy out of nowhere. Yeah,
like he's mediocre. He's mid.
But maybe that's probably the attempt to get him out of mid.
Right. But it's hard, especially when the American crowd doesn't buy him.
Yeah.
And he's the American guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's hard to kind of
to get it to translate that back to America.
But the other side of it is this: I feel like Bullet Club's gone on way too long. Okay. NWO went on way too long. Bullet Club has had so many different versions. They turned on the leader.
Yeah.
So Omega was the first leader. They turned on him, and Finn Balor took over as the leader. Or AJ Styles took over as the leader. And then they turned on AJ Styles, and Finn Balor took over as the leader. Then they turned on Finn Balor, and it's just been it's just a constant...
continuous freaking... what's the writer? Everybody talking about goddamn... Shakespeare. It's like one of them Shakespearean plays where it's just a continuous...
Over. It's like, oh my God. And, I mean, you look at... There's a lot of other things that happen in it. Gorillas of Destiny were originally part of the Bullet Club. They had a breakaway where they kind of broke away and just made Gorillas of Destiny their own faction.
That is such a fire name, but I'm telling you, that's a fire name.
Oh, it is. I love that name, Gorillas of Destiny.
Yeah, it's just like, come on.
But I feel like Bullet Club has ran its path. Mm-hmm. And it's time to kind of just put it to rest and go on to something else. I get it. I get what they were. I get the point of it.
Yeah.
But we don't need an NWO homage in 2024.
Yeah. It's so long ago, too. Yeah, we could definitely move on.
If it was new, I get it. If it was a new thing, and we're just going to do this and bring back something to remind you of the NWO from way back in the day, but you've been around for over a decade.
That hand now, yeah.
Right. Everybody, if you're a white guy in Japan, you've been a part of Bullet Club at some point.
Yeah. So it's like the throughway there.
and I mean, it's cool merchandise.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why they do it, because merchandise-wise, it's whatever club.
Yeah, especially when you build it up that long, the merch is... Yeah.
Right, and they have their Bullet Club, like the regular Bullet Club logo, right?
Yeah.
And everyone that has their own gimmick, they'll add... So, like, when Marty Scurll, I don't know if you know who Marty Scurll is, but his gimmick is he's the villain. Mm-hmm. He's from... Great Britain, somewhere in Europe, but he's the villain. So when he was a part of Bullet Club, he had a Bullet Club T-shirt that said "Villain Club," and he comes out. He wears this plague mask to the ring. Mm-hmm. So and the Bullet Club logo has a skull in the middle. So instead of the skull in the middle, they put the plague mask in the middle. Villain Club.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Like Kenny Omega when he had Omega Club, and he had like this. Instead of the skull, it was so like this Asian anime looking,
like the soccer club madness, where like when you got people that they become a part of that club from the fan base. I guess it is hard to like move on from it when you built it out that much. Whereas like,
and like I said, it's consistent. Like you switch to it,
yeah.
Whoever you switch to, you can add a new shirt into that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a whole rebrand at that point. Every time you switch.
And that guy, like, that's his kind of little thing. He's got his own shirt. Everybody in the crew has their shirt.
You know what I mean? Like, you build something up, and it's hard to let that go, and you can milk it as long as you can from that standpoint.
Right, but I feel like we're getting to the point of, all right, you don't have anybody to really do this.
But like you said, 10 years, yeah. And if the person's not right, the other names you just said comparative to what you're talking about now, it seems like a taper down. But again, it could just be a double edge there where they're trying to like use that in order to post that person's profile. Again, like you said, it's going to be hard to translate back to the American market, but yeah.
Right, but who knows what they do? I mean, so I'm going to tell you what I would do if I was Guido and I was running New Japan right now. I'd make a full pivot off of it, knowing, man, Finlay hasn't been the guy. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be, he's not world championship material. Mm-hmm. So you've got a great opportunity right now to switch off of him, Bullet Club turn on him, and you make Dolph the leader of Bullet Club. He's a man who's done his thing in the States. He's a multi-time world champion. He's a big name to come over, and now to take this guy and make him the leader of the Bullet Club, I think you get a whole new rebirth of the crew. I mean,
you might just gain the future. Everything. That whole challenge there could be something that leads into that.
It could be. If that's what they're doing with it, I'm all for it. I'm here for it.
You might have just let's remember this because you might have just caught that one.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah, it happens. We both be like,
right. But like, I didn't like the match, but the outcome, we'll see where it goes with it. Yeah. There's potential of where to go with it.
Yep.
So from there, we had 2 more matches on the show. We had a match, not a title match, but a big match, like a dream match that everyone's been waiting for. Mm-hmm. Kazuchika Okada. Mm-hmm. He's like their guy, the Rainmaker. He's like the legend of Japan.
Okay.
1-on-1 with Bryan Danielson, formerly Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
Bryan Danielson's wanted to fight him forever.
Yeah.
He's wanted this match for the longest time. He's kind of wrapping up his career and going out there and like, listen.
On the farewell tour?
Yeah, it's kind of like, all right, I got a bucket list of things I want to do in this business before I'm done.
Yeah, let's start checking them
Let me get these done, and then I'm going to go be with Bree and our kid Birdie, which is by the worst name ever. They named their damn daughter Birdie. I'm like, wow, you are a bunch of hippies, aren't you?
As soon as you said, I smell incense.
Right. But this was an instant classic.
Okay.
People have been waiting for this for years. Bryan Danielson is, in my opinion, still a B+ player, though. People love him. They think he's great. I think he's too small.
Got you. So for it to translate,
be believable. Like, you're the number one guy?
Yeah. What do you mean? Like when they had like Rey Mysterio's and then one guy for a while? Right. That's when I started to taper off. Because that's what it was. I was like, bro, you guys are forcing it now, okay?
Right.
That's when I started to taper off.
Right. And so I feel, to me, Daniel Bryan, not your world champion material, but he gets the fans behind him.
Okay.
That's why he got his push in WWE. Yep. I don't know if you remember when that happened. He became world champion, so they had a whole thing. It was the yes movement.
Okay.
And literally, the fans hijacked the show.
So and we're just like literally people power.
Yeah, literally just like, no, this is who we want, and we're gonna. The belief was he was gonna come into the Royal Rumble and win the Rumble. Instead, they put Batista in it, and Batista won the Rumble. And from there, he got the nickname Bootista. Because I've never seen a man boot out the building. Wow. This was his comeback. He hadn't been around for a while. He came back, won it. Batista, and they were just like, they wanted Daniel Bryan. When they gave him Batista instead, the fans let them know, we don't want this. That should have been Daniel Bryan.
That's because Batista's Batista.
Yeah. He got booed the hell out that when he won that Rumble, he got booed like crazy, and there's nothing they could do about it.
That's crazy.
Nothing they could do about it.
Is that the first time that's ever happened? I
feel like, yeah, that I can think of where they just completely hijacked the show and was like, nope. Oh, you want us to cheer because you brought back Batista and he's gonna go against Triple H at Mania? How about we boo instead?
That's interesting.
And they had to pivot. They pivoted and changed everything around. And in the end, Daniel Bryan ended up getting a world title.
Wow, okay, yeah.
But it was it was because you look up the Yes Movement and look at what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that night or the next night on Raw, but they called it the Yes Movement because that was his chant. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I know this guy. Yeah.
And they hijacked the whole show.
Wow.
They came out and they were talking about everything, and the whole crowd was just like, yes, 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 yes,
wow.
Yes. And they're like trying to be in the ring and talking to Mike, and they're just like, yes, yes, yes. They're like, Batista, boo, yes, yes. Yeah, they were like, holy shit.
The crazy part is, again, even if the fans booed them, again, wrestling's in a space where, okay, I can pivot and still win.
Right. You can't turn it into a whole thing. Yeah.
That was our original plan. We knew you were going to boo.
Right. Right. They ran with it.
Serious.
They're like, all right, so what are we going to do? We're going to make a whole thing about how we think he's just a B-plus player, and that's why he didn't get that spot, and he's going to have to earn it. And he earned himself into
the way in there, yeah. Okay.
But it is what it is. I still think that it was forced because the fans wanted it.
Yeah.
And they were backed into a corner of like, listen.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Are we going to give him the title?
You got to listen to your fan base, man.
Right. You do.
That was a good lesson.
Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you absolutely do not.
You do. You got it. Yeah. Sometimes you got it.
Because... like Cargill? Oh, never mind. Never mind.
We'll get it. I got someone that one after. But anyway, good match. Instant classic. Everybody was waiting to see it. Kazuo Okada won it. I feel like that was, again, he's already established and he's done his thing, but he's not wrapping up his career. So I feel like having Okada lose to Bryan Danielson right at the end of his career, what does that do for anybody?
What does it do for, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to push Okada up a little bit more, and he's already been the guy.
Yeah.
He's got multiple world title reigns. He's been the guy in Japan for years. But I also think that now when they're trying to transition and make themselves bigger in the States, yeah, you have your fans that know Okada.
Okay.
But you have people that know him from he had a short stint here like a decade ago in TNA wrestling.
Yeah.
And they just jobbed him and didn't know how to use him and wasted the talent of this guy. So you've got some people that probably remember him from that.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're going to stop pushing him out here, let's have him beat someone that they know.
Gotcha.
And they're like, wow, this was a great match. He just beat Daniel Bryan.
That's a good setup. It's a good setup.
So I think that, like, great match. Definitely what it was. I'm not a huge Bryan Danielson fan, but it did what it was supposed to do.
Got you.
And in that spot in the card right before the main event, great. Then we get to the main event, world title on the line. It's Naito versus Sonata. Sonata, he's blah to me. He's just like that generic Japanese guy.
Got you.
Like, you look at him, he's just like...
nothing special about it. No X Factor, no X Factor.
No, I don't. And it's funny because when he first started out, he went by the Great Sonata, and he was like being taught by the Great Muda. So he had the face paint, and he did the mist like Muda did. And I thought that was wild. So now he's here, and he's kind of like grown and turned into this guy. He comes out in a suit.
So, like, complete flip.
Yeah, he's nothing like that at all. And it's just kind of like, well, I feel like you don't have much character anymore. Yeah. Like, you got away from that. And I kind of get it. You probably wanted to make his own name. Like, we had the Great Muda. I don't need to be the Great Muda version 2.
I mean,
because it's only going to go so far. But maybe it would have been huge.
Maybe it would. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it would have been huge. If you got, especially if at some point there was like a passing of the torch type of special put on for that. It could have been huge.
I don't think they ever did that because he was the Great Sonata when he wrestled in the States.
Yeah.
So I don't think you ever got a real passing of the torch to him.
Got you.
But still, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Sonata, and I hate their world title.
Okay.
Look it up if you put it up here so that people can see that world title, and it's ugly. They had a nice title, came up with this new title, and I was just like, this is what you guys thought was.
Like, this ain't it, man.
Right.
This ain't it.
And everybody knows that. But like I said, Great Sonata, better than Sonata. Naito finally wins the world title back. Does this whole thing. And Naito had a really cool gimmick where he like kind of had the I don't care gimmick.
Yeah.
He had the IWGP Intercontinental Championship at one point.
Yeah.
And he hated it.
Uh-huh.
So he would literally come out as the Intercontinental Champ, throw the title, and kick it down the aisle all the way to the ring.
Yo, the disrespect.
Right.
He's going to kick my title
He's
down?
like, I don't care about this crazy. I'm going to kick this
This is when y'all find out I got a geriatric bladder. I'll be back.
So I'm going to wrap up this while he goes and does that, because I'm going to say Evil came out after Naito wins the match. He comes out with House of Torture. They attack Naito. So we're setting up Naito versus Evil. Why Evil? He sucks. I get it. He had his big win earlier. You can put him back in a big spot. But man, I am not a fan of Evil. I want nothing to do with him. No Evil. I hope Naito does his thing, keeps his title, takes out Evil, and moves on to the next thing. Because if you just do a quick switch to him, and I feel like they did that before. When they put that title on Evil last time, it came out of nowhere, right after a title change, And I mean, he did his thing, I guess, in Japan, but I don't like the guy. So I'm not going to be behind any of that. But whatever. It was what it was. Shocking ending to the show. Overall, great show. My one problem with watching shows like Wrestle Kingdom, it's Japan. So we're on Japan time. You got to remember that. It's not 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, bell time. It's 8 o'clock p.m. Japan, which is 4 in the morning here. 3:30 in the morning. So it was like 3 or 4 that the show started. Might have been 2 because it's like a super long show and they start a little bit earlier. So I think it started at 2 in the morning was the first show, which ironically enough, I was in a car driving to Florida. So I just threw it on my GPS was up. I threw it on my phone and watched it on the way down while I could. Didn't really get all of it and then watched it afterwards. Went back and like rewatched it because you can only watch so much when you're on the road. But it good show. Wrestle Kingdom. Always a great show to watch. People come out for it. It's packed in the Tokyo Dome. People come from everywhere to watch that show. Wrestling fans, we get wild for Wrestle Kingdom. I mean, I know a bunch of people that are in my groups that said, I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock tonight, and I'm setting my alarm for 1:30 so I can get up and get myself ready for Wrestle Kingdom. Which is nuts. You can't get people to go to bed early and set their alarm to get up for 5 o'clock in the morning so that they can go make money. Millionaires get up 5 in the morning. Or billionaires get up. Millionaires get up at 6. Billionaires get up at 5. You can't get people up at 5 in the morning to go become a billionaire, to go make money. You can't get people to get up at 6 in the morning. People don't want to get out of bed before 7. But wrestling fans will go to bed at 8, 9 at night and get up at 1:30, 2 in the morning to watch Wrestle Kingdom in Japan. So that tells you something, the wildness of it and how wild that is. But that was Wrestle Kingdom. It was great. Go watch it. Support Japanese wrestling. Support New Japan. They're going to have a lot of stuff coming out here in America as they're really trying to build their footprint here. But I mean,
I'm back.
That time though, I was saying, people get up early to watch New Japan because you're in Japan, different time. This show started at 2 in the morning.
This is why I say you are a diehard fan. Because for you to watch with that time difference is crazy.
Well, I said this. I was lucky. I was actually in the car driving to Florida.
Oh,
so I was on the road at 2 in the morning when it came on. So I just put it on my phone and was like, "Oh, cool! I'm gonna watch this while we drive." Yeah. But still, I didn't get to watch it. I had to go back and watch again.
Gotcha.
Because you're on the road, you can't. I can't be like this the whole time. So you get pieces of it here and there.
He was not watching while he was driving.
I wasn't. I was listening.
Yeah,
I was listening. That's why I had to come back and watch. I literally watched the show 3 nights ago. Like literally, I came home and watched it. Sarah was like, "Wasn't this on in the car?" And I said, "Yeah, go watch."
I didn't retain it.
We were driving.
Yep.
I was listening.
Yeah.
So I knew what happened.
Correct.
And I wanted to see things.
Yeah.
So, but great show. Definitely go check it out. We got other things to talk about. Well, this is kind of went longer than we expected, which kind of happens, but it is what it is. But let's get into the other stuff that happened. So we talked last show about the devil. Yes. AEW, the devil. Who's the devil going to be? Tons of ideas of who it could be. Part of it was, is it going to be MJF? And it was a swerve.
Yep.
Galen was right. I think it was Galen that called it and said it was going to be Adam Cole.
Yep, he sure did.
It was Adam Cole. He came out. I feel like didn't hit like they wanted it to. I really feel like it didn't. Samoa Joe wins the match, becomes world champ. They unveil the devil as Adam Cole. His henchmen were the Kingdom and Wardlow. And so now they're a crew called the Undisputed Kingdom, which is kind of a mix of the Kingdom and the Undisputed Era, which is Adam Cole's group in WWE. So now they're Undisputed Kingdom. And
that's another fire name, though. I like that.
It is.
That's a fire name.
But Adam Cole's another guy. He's like a vanilla midget. The guy's tiny.
Got you.
The guy's...
I think, do you feel like they're playing up like, because again, that's what I felt like with Rey Mysterio. They was like playing up on the little guy stuff.
Well, so wrestling has gotten to a point where it's not the land of the giants anymore.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm used to. That's probably what it was.
Me too, and that's what I like. Like, I want, like, if I'm gonna watch two dudes fight, I want it to be believable. Like, oh, these are two big dudes.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like that huge ass Viking versus the Ngannou Sand Mines type dude. Like, yeah, I'm trying to see like Clash of the Titans.
I don't want to see two dudes that are 2 inches shorter than me and 40 pounds lighter than me. I get it if you're fighting for like the junior weight championship.
Yeah.
But for the world title,
yeah. And that's when it lost me when they started like. Okay, I get it. We never like officially like said weight classes. You understand what I'm saying? But we still like respected it when we put matches together. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
like you weren't getting a little. Rey Mysterio wasn't coming beating up the Big Show.
That's what I'm saying.
If he beat the Big Show, it was kind of like, whoa, how did that happen?
But that's the problem when he started beating up some of them
all the time.
You know what I mean? All the time. Once in a while, I get it. The little guy can win. David Goliath, got it, get you. But going on a run like that? No,
right.
Sorry, my dude. Sorry, my dude. You can't be 5 foot nothing and go on a complete run of fighting other skilled guys that are ginormous. There's no way.
Right.
No way.
And I feel like it got to that because we got to a point where wrestling fans wanted to relate to the wrestlers.
Correct. Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So it's like, so it's more of, that could be me.
Yes.
And I'm going to root for this guy because he can be me.
I get that.
To an extent.
Get it.
To an extent.
But to an extent. Because you can overdo it. And I feel like we've oversaturated it a little bit.
Because that could be me 2 out of 10 times. The other 8 times, I'm going to get my ass beat. Straight up.
Correct.
So you got these little guys that like Sammy Guevara. When you see that, when I show you that clip, you're going to be like, that dude?
Yep.
He's like my size, maybe smaller. And I'm like, you tombstone me off the second rope. I ain't getting up.
I'm not getting up. It's over. Good night.
Done. Yeah.
You know what I
mean? But it is what it is. And you got these wrestling fans that want that. They want kickouts. Yeah. They want moves to get hit and it doesn't finish the guy.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, well, you're cheapening the move.
That's my thing. The build up to get into a move was so important, and it's just not anymore. Like, I'm getting hit with a special 3 times, bro. It's not that special if I can do it 3 times, bro.
Especially if I kick out of it. Especially if you kick out 3 times.
You kick out of it 3 times? Like, no, that's a horrible special move. You need to invest in something else.
You need to go with something different because you can't beat.
Like, bro, when you got... I know this is like the forbidden war we ain't supposed to talk about because it was gone for a little while, but when you got powerbombed, it was over. But it turned in... And I remember, like, as the powerbomb developed into just being a regular move... that it lost that power. It was just a bomb. It wasn't even a bomb. It was a firecracker now. Because everybody does it. It's like a normal move like now. So.
Like the super kick. Or there's a move. I don't know if you know what the Canadian Destroyer is.
No, what's that?
So the wrestler stands on the second rope.
Okay.
Right? And now you're in front of me, but kind of bent down like this because you're hurt.
Yes.
And I leap over you, grab you, and flip you.
Yes.
So you flip in the air and like slam down.
Oh, got you. Regular now.
Yeah, regular. Canadian Destroyer. That's a move that you're like, yo, this dude just flipped over his back, took the guy, flipped him in the air, and slammed him on his back and then pinned him. That's wild. Now it's like, he's kicking out 1 count.
Yeah, correct.
And again, if it was still the land of the giants and it's a big, huge guy.
Then I can get that.
But when I'm bigger than you.
And you know it's funny too, because like I'll give a little pushback because I know that like there's gonna be people that are watching. It's like, yeah, but we know what it is. Listen, I understand that we know what it is, but again, like I said earlier, you have to sell it to me. So even if it is the little guy, the complexity of the fight, it has to be from a realistic perspective of how a little guy would win for real.
Right. Like
when you have this little guy that does like a regular chop and it's like it came from a 7-foot person.
Yes.
300 pounds. Stop it, guys. Stop it. You lost me.
Like and to go off of what you said, people are like, well, we know what it is. Yeah, I know what a movie is.
Correct.
But if I'm watching a movie and the dude comes up and shoots a guy in his face, if that dude was just like, nothing, I'd be like, well, this movie's dumb. Change the channel.
Man. Listen, I just watched a movie like that. Yo, Jason Statham, bro, the beekeeper. Yo, he literally shot homeboy in his face, and he was like, he was Australian. He made like an Australian act. He's like, and then went to proceed to try. Yo, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, we were just talking about that. Like, by the time we got to John Wick 4, I was like, I can't do this. My brain will not accept this anymore. You are not. Keanu Reeves is not physically fighting. Even once we got to the part where they overdid the bulletproof suits. in the movie? Like, they have a bulletproof suit in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, he's like, no, I'm not registering that.
Wait, what?
Wait,
like,
what?
I thought it was going somewhere else with it. Like, you got a bulletproof suit.
It's a bulletproof,
that's just
same fabric, but somehow it's some technology that the suit, I'm like, bro, I don't even want to get into this shit.
Yeah,
So again, once it, I understand, like, you know, you can sell me a fight all you want, man, but it has to make some kind of sense. Especially, like, I could get the in-between, but the finish has to make sense, bro. It has to make sense.
Right. And sometimes it's even the stuff that happened in the middle. Like, I hit you with something, you're not getting right back up.
Yeah.
Sammy Guevara got run down. They had a match that was like an arena brawl where they, in AEW, where they had a whole match in the Jacksonville Jaguars arena with nobody in it. It was just the wrestlers fighting all around the arena.
Yeah.
And Sammy Guevara's running, and one I don't remember who was driving the cart, but like a golf cart. Ran him down. No, dude got back up and was still fighting afterwards. Like, no, dude. Like, straight hit him. Flips over the golf cart. I'm just like, what? I'm like, what is this? Like, he's done. That's done. And they're like, no, it's not. He's not done.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, this is when you gotta, like, definitely put that, like, kids don't try this at home, for sure now.
Right. And I get, and at the same time, we know what it is, and there's some parts of it that you look at it, you're like, well, look at The Undertaker.
I know. I was going to go
get
there.
it.
Yeah.
Supernatural being. It's less believable.
But that was a part of the whole.
That was his gimmick.
The whole
that was
stick.
His character. Yes.
That was the whole thing. It wasn't just some random ass. I got chokeslammed 3 times and I'm getting up and I have none of that stick to me. It's like that was the whole thing behind him.
You could bury the Undertaker
undead.
alive and he'd come back.
Was the undead.
But even that, right? Undertaker gets put into a coffin. They burn the coffin. He's been buried alive.
Yeah.
But what happens all the time? He goes away for like 2 months.
For a while.
You don't see him. He got taken out.
That's true.
And then he comes back and like, oh my God.
This is what I'm saying. This was like the heyday of like wrestling for me. When the rock bottom mattered, bro. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got, listen, I could give you 1.5, maybe. But if we go over 2 special full moves, you lost me.
Right.
You lost me. There's no way you're telling me I have no value in your special move no more. Like, I know that the people's elbow was not knocking people out for real, right? But I know that the way that he was setting it up, because that was, like, if you think about it, the people's elbow was probably, like, the rock bottom was more, like, realistic as far as delivery than the people's elbow. So I always kind of, like, didn't like the people's elbow, but it was a part of the stick.
Right.
So that's what made it work. It wasn't like some just random one-off thing. It was like,
and even the setup of it, too. It wasn't like you just got people's elbow. You got rock bottom.
Correct.
And then he'd get you the people's elbow after the rock bottom.
That's what made sense. Because if you remember earlier on, he didn't do it chained like that.
Right.
Earlier on, it was like, I would do this randomly and do that randomly. When he chained them together is when it made, like, it hit harmony for me. Yep. Now it makes sense. Like, oh, I done rock bottomed your ass into the pavement.
Or even if he didn't do the rock bottom, he would do the other way he did it was he'd do a spine buster. He'd like throw you pick you up, spine buster you, so you're down. Then he'd give you the people's elbow, and then pick you up and give you a rock bottom.
So the setup's important. The setup's important.
It is.
I mean, if you just like no setup to the special, you're doing it 3 times. This 5'0" dude's kicking out of this 400-pound dude, giving him the slam of his life. Like, it's just not. You know what I mean?
That's my problem with AEW. If you're gonna do
it, it has to be sparingly. You know what I mean?
Right. But that's my problem with AEW because they don't get that. And I'll go back and say it again. It's probably because Tony Khan does way too much cocaine. We're going to get more on Tony Khan's cocaine use in a little bit. Because we're going to pass off of Adam Cole. We kind of got on that, talked about that. Now I want to talk about the other thing that just came down. We had the big thing. We just talked about Punk Saves Christmas. CM Punk comes back. And then what did they go and do this week? They brought back The Rock. They made a whole big thing on Monday Night Raw. World champion coming back, and I don't know if you watched what happened with it. I
went back and watched it.
So did you see how when they brought up Jinder Mahal first?
I seen that. Okay.
So Jinder Mahal, former world champion. They said a former world champion is going to be here, and I get it. Triple H, the man,
he's killing it.
He's.
I told you.
On all cylinders. I got mad love for Triple H.
I told you.
And if Paul, if you're watching, you know I got mad love for you, bro. This dude's been. I don't know if you know this part, but Triple H has at least had his ears on Smarks since when we were on LIT Radio.
Wow.
Because when I was bringing on Felicia Rose, to do shows with me. She was actually at the time dating Bull Dempsey, who was down in Orlando in NXT. Triple H was running it, and they would legitimately, whenever we were doing our shows on wrestling, and that wasn't even when it was Smarks. At that time, it was the Boneyard Sports Show.
Yeah, I remember the Boneyard.
And we do the pit stops for wrestling.
Yep.
Whenever I did a pit stop show, and she was on, Bull would tune in Orlando, and all the boys in the locker room were listening to that show.
Wow.
I got feedback sometimes in the middle of a show where she'd be like, hey, Bull just, like, we'd go to commercial.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, oh, Bull just sent me a text that Triple H said this. That's not, you guys said this. And no.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I know that he's had ears on us. I don't know if he still listens and still pays attention, but if you are, you're killing it, dude. And I love it. You're doing your thing. That's what it's all about. Changing everything, changing the perspective of WWE. Because people got mad at everything with Vince and all the drama with all that. And he kind of like made WWE into his playground.
Listen,
Vince was, this is what I like.
Exactly. It got away from like what the fans or the wrestlers liked, and it became too much of like the founder syndrome. We talked about that in the last one. But that's why I said what I said, and I know we're about to get into this real quick, but like, I just want, before you get into it, I just want to come real close. Look at me. Y'all see me? Y'all see me? I've been out of the loop for a while, right? But I called this. I called it.
You did?
I called it because once you explain it to me, once you catch me up to speed, I get that ADHD superpower too, and I can see it, bro. And once you said CM Punk is back, Triple H is running the show, I knew that this was going to happen. Like, I knew it. And now everything's back on the table. Everybody has to understand, anything that you love that was in that arena, it could be back on the table with Triple H's leadership.
Right, because that was his time. You look at, like, the best time was the Attitude Era. That was his time. So he knows what worked then. He knows what was great then. And here's the best part of it. Even though, like, wrestling fans hated it because it got so far away from that, now you can go back to it and it's not stale.
Correct.
It's fresh.
It's going to be fresh to you.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to have fun catching up. I'm going to, it's hard for me to catch up with like all the I don't want to say off brand, the other dynamics of like the global wrestling, and ecosystem. But like, I'm definitely like, I've been catching up and trying to catch up with like, the stuff that we grew up with. And, The Rock, man, like The Rock being back is like, first off, how did it make you feel? And when you and just for my own little egotistical, when you seen it, did you say, this motherfucker ain't even watching wrestling? How did he? Because as soon as you said in the inbox, I'm not gonna lie, y'all couldn't see me. I jumped. I was like, I told that nigga. I told him.
So. Part yes, but part I was kind of like, when they said they were bringing out a former world champion, and Jinder Mahal came out,
you was like,
I was like, they're doing something else. There's gonna be someone's coming out.
Oh, okay, so you figured like that was a little throw off.
Like you're not gonna do that, and because people are just kind of
especially like to make that kind of announcement, it has to be bigger than that. But that's what I mean about now. That is good because there are some folks that was like we're deep, we understand that, but the ones that don't, they were like, I wanted to see a world champ. This is who they gave me, Jinder. And listen, I think so people hate Jinder Mahal. I was waiting for you to go there.
People hate Jinder Mahal. I'm gonna tell you this. I like Jinder Mahal.
For real?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't hinder Jinder. That's the Maharaja, baby.
I like it. I respect it.
But he does this thing like this dude came up. Look at him. He came up, right? He was in NXT. Mm-hmm. He fought Seth Rollins in the tournament to crown the first NXT champion in the finals. Mm-hmm. So he did his thing there. Then he came up to the main roster. He never caught on. They put him in that group called 3MB. It was the 3-man band. Mm-hmm. It was him, it was Drew McIntyre, and it was Heath Slater. Mm-hmm. And they were garbage. They were jobbers. They were nothing. And you look at them now and you're like, wow, they did their thing. He grew. He became
developed. Yep.
And Jinder had a world title reign.
Wow.
And I feel like for him, the downside with him is they haven't figured out what to do with him yet.
Okay.
They keep giving him these super stereotypical.
Got you. Yeah.
Even when he came out, you heard it was just like, I'm gonna talk America.
Yeah. It's like, come on, guy. We have enough of this.
Right, it's 2024, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's an election year. You got to chill out with that shit right now.
Right.
Yeah, we already stressed, bro. I don't know if there's going to be an election. Don't get me started on that. It's another pod.
I want to be on that one.
I'm going to talk about that, too, because, like, you know, we've been going through this process and, like, vetting and building a team or whatever, but I think that, like, me and you are going to translate well on each other's shows. So I definitely am looking forward to, like, maybe setting something up where you do the dinner club with me, too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, fact.
Like,
absolutely.
That's what we're going to get really crazy about, all that kind of stuff. We want to keep this one alive. We'll get canceled on my show, all right?
I mean, I be saying shit, though. You know that. I be saying shit.
You definitely do. But
it's wrestling. It's hard to get canceled.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It's like not safe space, but people will play into it. Whereas like some of the stuff we about to get on, Coke in the White House, all of that, that's going to be, that's not.
But we can talk about Coke and Tony Khan.
Yes, let's talk about that.
So let's get into that a little bit. So obviously everyone was psyched about The Rock coming back. The Rock comes out, and if you missed it, go watch it. Look it up. He came out. He did this whole thing. Shot down Jinder, and then said his whole thing and said, "I'm gonna go to dinner tonight. I'm looking forward to going dinner. Where do you guys think I should sit? The head of the table?" And everybody lost it. Everybody's like, "Wait." So I know you're getting back into it. Mm-hmm. Head of the table is what Roman calls himself. Roman Reigns. He's the tribal chief. That's the same family.
Smoke.
Right? So he comes out with the tribal chief with his thing. He's like, I'm the head of the table. And so Rock says, I'm going to go to dinner. And where do you guys think I should sit? The head of the table? Oh. So that was like a direct, that's shots fired at Roman. Like, yo, cuz, you think you're the tribal chief? I'm the Rock. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. Because there's a lot of ideas. Like, do you put the title on The Rock?
Okay, so you want my honest assessment of what I think that's going to turn into if we're going the Reigns angle? We talked about this before, and this is why I felt like the timing of Triple H being back around and The Rock coming back into the fold was timely for The Rock, because I feel like anytime his Hollywood profile starts to decline a little bit, you know, we've seen the same movie about 15 times already, you know what I'm saying? And then he has to like go through that redevelopment phase of like tapping in with his core base. I feel like he comes back. Mm-hmm. And I feel like giving him the belt for that time would not be good. I feel like this is a good time to bring him back and for him to challenge Reigns and lose and take an L, because I don't think that he's going to be, you know, like we know that he's not, I could be wrong, but I don't think he's staying for a long stint.
I don't think so either.
You know what I mean?
So I got a different idea of it. So I think there's two ways you go with it.
Let me ask this, because I'm trying to remember. Every time he came back, didn't he win?
Not necessarily the title.
Okay.
But he always comes back and wins whatever match they come back.
You see what I'm saying? So like, but that's what I meant, like match wise. So like, he's due for a loss.
But they could do two things with it, right? Because I think if Roman beats The Rock, he's holding the title for a whole nother year. And he's going to break Hulk Hogan's record for 4-year title reign. Okay. So the only way you're going to do that is if you're going to keep, because you're not going to have him beat The Rock and then lose the title like 2 months later.
Yes. But isn't that fire though? Like, if that is the game plan, that he beats The Rock, we don't know if it's going to be beginning of the year. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think they're either going to fight at the Rumble. Actually, Rumble's like next week.
Next week. So you think it's going to be the Rumble?
No. Either Elimination Chamber, which I believe will be in February or March, or Mania. So I have an idea that Mania is 2 nights. Mania is 2 nights, right? And you got the whole Cody Rhodes thing. Okay. Cody Rhodes got to finish his story. I don't know if you followed Cody.
No.
So Cody left WWE, right? Yep. He founded AEW.
Okay.
They had a falling out between the owners. Okay. Yep. And he was like, I'm out of here. And he came back to WWE. It was like the hugest thing of this guy that came back that was formerly Stardust. He never got the push he should have got. Yeah. And he comes back. I've never helped. I want to do something that my dad never did. Gotcha. I want to get that WWE championship for my father, for the Rhodes legacy, which is dope. So he came back. He had this whole big build-up. Yep. And he tore his pec.
Oh.
Look, I'm gonna show you this because it was nuts.
Yeah, tearing your pec, yo. If you've never seen what that injury looked like, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was wild. Look at, and this is the day that he came back after it was torn. When he came back for his match.
Woo! I'm gonna pull that up for y'all. I'll definitely make sure.
Yeah, throw that up for you. And look at that. So that's what he. So he came back. Tore his pec. Was gone for a little while. Came back after that, right? To finish the story of becoming the champ.
Yep.
Didn't happen.
Yep.
He fought Roman at Mania last year.
Yep.
The Bloodline, everybody thought Cody's going to do it. He's finally going to get it. Bloodline comes out, costs Cody the match. Cody loses. And it's all been moved on since then, right? Okay. But the whole thing is, I got to finish my story. Yeah. I got to finish that. Like, that's his thing. I got to finish the story. And they've been talking. Finish the story. Finish the story. So Cody Rhodes' story isn't going to be finished until he becomes the world champ. When that happens, we don't know. But here's my thoughts, right? Yeah. Here's a way to do it without totally destroying Roman.
Okay.
Right? Night 1. Because WrestleMania is 2 nights now.
Yep.
Night 1. Rock versus Roman. Rock wins. Night 2. Rock versus Cody. Roman costs Rock. Cody finishes his story.
I can see that. I could def see that.
You don't have to give Rock a long title run, right?
I can see that.
You put the title on him for a minute.
I can see that.
Now you're building more family drama from it. He drops the belt to Cody, and now you got a whole little run with Roman versus Rock for a little bit to be the tribal chief, to be the leader of the family.
But if I drag this out, just thinking of an alternative approach. If I drag this out, The Rock, let's say he gets through this year of being involved-ish. Cody still has time to get that next. You can accomplish both next year. True.
But I feel
because how long
it's too long of a story to drag because now we're on a 2-year.
Because but like you said, because you don't think that at some point they do want to break that Hogan record?
Maybe. I don't know. So here's the thing. That's what's going on in WWE. They're breaking a bunch of records.
That's what I've been studying a little bit,
Gunther
noticing that.
Broke the Intercontinental.
Yeah.
Honky Tonk Man was the longest reigning Intercontinental forever. Like, dude was coming back 10 years later like, I'm the greatest Intercontinental champion of all time, longest reigning champion.
I literally just watched something about that, and I was thinking, like, because now that you just said that, and they didn't even talk about this, but it was like, now that you said that, I'm like, if you're trying to move on from that era and you can't, like, bring Hulk back to do anything that's really going to be materialize anything, Cody's story is important, but I feel like if I could, The Rock could carry us into the next year to get that record broken. And I think The Rock is due for a comeback loss for once.
He could. So here's the other way.
But
here's the other way you could go with it too. So yeah, you could do that with him losing it, or you could have The Rock come back and say, "I don't want your title. You know how many times I've been world champ?
I
want this. I want the tribal." You see, Roman comes out with his little.
Oh, that will be fire. There we go.
I don't want your world title. I want that because I'm the tribal chief.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like. For Rock, there has to be... I know he's coming back to tap in with his fan base and all that from the business side, but for the story, too, it's like you winning another title doesn't really mean anything. That makes sense. Because the story's even deeper because you know that The Rock's backstory is he's a tribal person.
Like, they're the same family.
Correct.
Like, that's what I'm saying. So it's like,
that's what I'm saying. So it's like that backstory of like the tribal family, you taking the head of the table type deal is like you setting it up that way.
And check
if you're fighting for that... You can carry that out for a long time, and it's completely separate from like what you got going on with belts. It becomes its own like ethereal fucking thing.
Right. Now you can have Cody finish the story and win that title, but you still got this whole thing going with the family. And check this out. This goes even deeper than that. Because check it out. You got Roman, and then you got the rest of the bloodline, right? Which is who? The Usos and Solo Sikoa. Do you know who they are?
Yes, a little bit, but you just made me think about something else. Roman can't lose either way.
Why?
No. Let me correct myself. There's 2 ways Roman could win. So, because again, from my perspective, I think The Rock. Don't you think it would be like again? Because I'm used to like I know The Rock card now. Mm-hmm. I know the card they always play with The Rock every 5-10 years or so. You know what I'm saying? You don't think it would be like crazier to people if like because like you said, either scenario, whether he loses the match to Roman Reigns for the belt or loses the tribal thing to Roman Reigns for the belt, I think that for some reason I feel like The Rock is going to take an L this time.
He could. here's the piece that I think brings it all together, right?
Okay.
So the Usos.
Yeah.
The Usos.
Yep.
You know Solo Sikoa?
Yes. Yep.
Do you know who they are?
No.
Do you know whose kid they are?
No. Whose kid is it?
Rikishi's.
No, it's not.
Yeah, those are Rikishi's kids. Yes, they're...
No!
Yes. Yeah, the Usos are Rikishi's kids. And so is Solo Sikoa. They're brothers. It's Rikishi's kids. All three of them. Not Roman.
I didn't know that.
But the Usos and Solo Sikoa are Rikishi's kids.
I should have figured that, though.
So ready? So let's pull this all the way back to our era.
Yes.
Let's pull this all the way back to Stone Cold Steve Austin getting hit by a car. And who did it? Rikishi. I did it for The Rock.
He did.
Full circle.
Wait a minute.
Full circle, because the bloodline are Rikishi's kids with Roman, and now you get Rock back. You can bring Rikishi into it to either do it for The Rock or to screw The Rock over this time
and do it for Roman.
So you got it's that story. If you can do that and pull it into that, it's like it takes that attitude there. And again, Triple H at the helm. That was a storyline he was a big part of. Yeah. Because originally they thought DX did it.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon was like, "You're a bastard." And he's like, I didn't do this. And we find out later, I did it for The Rock.
Yeah, yeah.
So coming off of that, with Triple H knowing that whole story, because he was a big part of it, if you can take that and put that into today, into the bloodline, Rikishi's kids, The Rock comes back, Roman, and the whole thing with the tribal chief and the tribal leaders having set.
Yeah,
like Solo Sikoa got set by the tribal leaders, right?
Yeah.
Well, what if the tribal leaders are now like, listen, Rikishi, go fix this. We got enough of that.
I like
go
that.
do it for The Rock.
I like that. I do like that. Any combination of that is fire.
Like there's so many ways to go with this, and this is
combination that's fine.
One of my biggest issues is when you know the story.
I'm gonna still stand on because I'm hoping. I could be wrong. Remember this conversation. I got one. Rock's back, and my prediction that we didn't get into was if he did come back, I feel like it was gonna be the first time Rock's gonna take an L. So we'll see where this goes. Because I think it has more upside for Roman Reigns.
Yes and no, because here's the thing: you got to remember this: Roman has been battling cancer for years. He always has to take these times off for his cancer.
About that.
I know because he's been around so much more lately.
I forgot about that.
So it would be an easy way to.
He had lost a lot of weight and everything.
Right. It would be an easy way to write him off on a little break.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose the tribal chief. And we're going to keep Rock around for 3-4 months as the tribal chief with Rikishi's kids with him now. Yeah. Rikishi did it for The Rock.
Wow, this could be.
And then Roman comes back. Right.
It could be setting one of them up.
Could be.
Could be.
And
I'm not saying it's going to be a large jump, but it's enough.
Solo Sikoa, that dude is going to be huge.
Okay.
That dude's going to be... I have been following him since he was playing college football. He's been my Facebook friend since he was in college.
Wow. I'm like, wow, are they remixing the story on this?
I would love it. It would be great.
I think you're right, bro. I think you're right.
It would be
I still think it would be... you know what it is, dog? I just want to see that Rock take an L, bro.
Right, but either way, like I think if you don't somehow involve Rikishi in this, you're missing something. You're missing it.
You're right. There's no way to not, like, especially now that I know that detail, like the sons are... Yeah, no, there's no way.
And if Triple H is listening to this, he's going to be like, oh, yes.
Oh, absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. We're going to get a call. Eventually, we're going to get a call. Like, yo, they just gave us, like, 4 scenarios, bro. That was way fire, bro. Like, it was more effective than Tony Khan's Coke, so.
And get into that. That's where we're supposed to go with this, right?
Yeah, let's wrap that up.
So, Tony Khan comes out and says, he goes on Twitter. Tony Khan someone needs to take Twitter from him. Take his phone, take his computer, take his Twitter, take it all, because this dude does not know when to stop, when to shut up, when to not say stuff. He's like talking out the side of his mouth all the time, saying ridiculousness. And like he gets in his feelings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And again, I think it's because he does too much coke.
Yeah.
Don't do coke and tweet. Like
he's a rich ratty kid that does coke and tweets. It's yeah. It's a dangerous combination.
Right, it is. But who else do we know that is rich?
Oh shit.
And doesn't know how to not tweet dumb shit. And he don't even do coke. He don't even drink.
It's true.
But it's just a rich thing. Rich people just don't care what they put on social media. But he came out. I'm gonna find this exact tweet that that he sent out, because that shit was nuts. And I had to comment back to him because I'm that dude that will just say shit that probably wouldn't. So he says, this dude went in complaining about everything. He always does. So first he says, a double standard Hook. You know who Hook is?
Yeah.
In AEW. I don't know if you know this. That's Taz's son. Remember Taz?
Oh, this is what I'm saying. I'm missing that. I'm missing this whole next generation thing.
Yeah, Hook.
Because maybe I might actually like some of these characters more if I knew.
Once you realize, that's
like, oh.
Hook is Taz's kid.
Okay.
Right? So, Tony Khan, a double standard, 28-1 career record, Hook, on winning streak, calls out the champ. A logical challenge sparks online outrage. Jinder has literally lost every single match he's in for the past year. Immediately gets title shot. Where is the rage? Hashtag AEW Dynamite.
You hate it.
And then he comes out and says this one. A moral victory for USA is so someone had said something else about that, or it might have even been someone said something about it.
Yeah.
And they replied to, what was the original one? Let me see here. These guys do have history. Seth Rollins and Jinder, because they're going to fight for the title next week. These guys do have history. Seth Rollins defeated Jinder Mahal in the tournament finals to become the first NXT champion. And USA Network commented, what was the cage match rating? Because a lot of people say, ratings. And to me, ratings are one man's opinion. They don't mean shit.
Yeah.
And I think
it's like when they talk record sales and music, and we know it can be manipulated. We know what the time
so
is.
that's kind of where USA was going with that, right?
Yeah.
So Tony Khan replies to that and says, a moral victory for USA is one win more than their world title challenger Jinder Mahal has in the past 364 days. Because it's been literally a full year since he won a match. Wow. You really put AEW in our place, getting Jinder Mahal in a big match on your TV show. Do it more often.
Yo, he is out. Coke! That's that Coke bravery. That is definitely that Coke bravery. He was like, he read it and then he was like, hold on. And commenced the typing.
Right. So me, I'm not, I don't care. I say shit. People, I've been blocked on Madison Rain retweeted something that I tweeted and talked shit about me and then deleted it and said she didn't want to give me any shine off of it. Like I've been Ryback has me blocked. I say shit. I don't care.
It happens. You gotta shake it up.
So I responded back to him and said, Jinder Mahal segment from last night on Raw. 453,000 views in 24 hours. Post-match comments from AEW's new champion Samoa Joe after 5 days. 82,000 views. So, your world champ was outdrawn by a guy who hasn't won a match in a year. That's tough.
That's wild. That is wild. Bro. Yo, Tony
how you gonna talk shit?
Listen, sir. Don't put no money on my head, all right? That's wild. He just went and literally pulled the stats on you.
I'm saying.
You better leave him alone, bro. He just super kicked it out of your stats, bro.
And then I said, can we talk about the network AEW is on, TNT Sports, retweeting The Rock interrupting Jinder Mahal and not anything about Samoa Joe? I feel like these burns are really hurting you, and that's why you say the things you do. Or it's all the coke, not sure which. And then I actually shared the tweet from WWE on TNT Sports. So in Europe, in the UK, WWE actually comes on TNT.
Okay, yep.
In the States, AEW's on TNT and WWE's on USA.
Okay, yep.
So their UK, WWE on TNT Sports tweeted that, and then TNT Sports retweeted it.
Wow.
Even though it's UK. I get this a little bit different, but it's still TNT.
It's still TNT.
It's still
you know what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So they tweeted, it doesn't get better, does it? The Rock electrifies like no other, with a whole video of him interrupting thing. So I actually shared that, tagged Tony Khan and said, hashtag moral victory. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Spoiler, it's not cocaine, Tony Khan. So that was my mic drop.
Yo, we are going to be lit all year, bro. We are going to be so lit all year. Y'all have no idea, man. This is so wild. The Rock being back, man. Triple H taking over is huge, man. It's just, I'm excited for like the diehards like yourself, because like you said, like there was a little while ago, and you know, my man Philippe, you know, was talking to too, like he had the same similar situation. He was like, at some point he was watching wrestling because he's on autopilot, but he wasn't he wasn't attached to it for a while.
Yeah.
I can feel the fever from the conversations that we have in our group chat with the rest of the team to just talking to people. You know, I'm trying to get back into the lingo of it and just talking to people. Especially like I got a group of young triplets. They're all teenagers now, 14, and they all are diehard. So they've been trying to catch me up, and even they said it as like only being 14, they started to feel like they started to get disconnected from the storylines, but they feel like they've been seeing stuff. So like, you know, I asked them how they felt about The Rock, and we're talking about a different generation now. So you got to understand like how big your profile is when you can affect another generation. Like how many generations has The Rock affected? So this return was big for them too, from CM Punk to The Rock too. So again, I'm just excited for what else 24, especially because I don't even think they're done with like none of
especially because I don't think like look at every time in not overall, but in recent history, say the past 5 years, when The Rock comes back, he's just real quick. I'm gonna come do a match, and I'm out. In and out. I don't think this is that. I think this is they're gonna like do like he's gonna be a story for at least a little while. I think he's coming here to do something like you said, to re-raise his profile. Because let's be real, he's fallen off in Hollywood. He was kind of the guy for a bit.
Like you can't make another movie chasing big ass monkeys. Like he was overselling. Like when he did Rampage, that was an oversell job. That was too much. You know what I'm saying? Like when he did the LA movie where it was all crumbling, it was like an end of the world type movie.
Yep.
Corny, bro. Like you're the biggest helicopter pilot I've ever seen in my life. Makes no sense whatsoever. Like nobody was like, yo, what is up with this pilot on roids? What is going on over there? Let me not say he's on roids because I saw how sensitive he got when Joe Rogan said it.
That's funny. Right, Rock will fight us.
Yeah, he would.
And if he does it, Rikishi will. He'll do it for The Rock.
Oh, nah, see. I'll fight The Rock, but I ain't messing with Rikishi.
He messing with Rikishi.
And I know The Rock will beat my ass probably, but I'll take my chances. If I don't want... Listen, The Rock has no moves where his ass cheeks is in my face. So I'll take that any day. Any day of the week. You can rock bottom me till it's all over, bro. As long as them big ass Rikishi ass cheeks. Yo, bro, when he used to do that move, bro...
Yeah, facts.
Yo,
facts.
And I don't care how...
You ain't lying.
That's what I mean about, like, the dedication of a wrestler. Because I don't care how much you train and how much you think you're prepared. When them big-ass cheeks hit you, bro, and you're sitting in the corner, too, and he puts his weight, that Samoan... Bro, I don't care how... You can't fake that. There's no way. There's no way. That's what you mean by selling it? There's no way to not sell Rikishi's move.
Right.
So I will never. I'll take on The Rock. Yo, me and you, we could do that, bro. You probably rough me. I don't care, bro. I will take a rock bottom over them cheeks any day, bro.
Fact. Any day.
Hey,
any
yo.
day. Twice on Sunday.
Hey, yo.
I'm saying. I'm good with all that.
Yo, XL was there. He'd be like, pause. He'd be screaming over there like, you say you take them cheeks, bro? Pause. Hey, yo.
But you're right, though. It's going to be wild to see what's going to come next. I mean,
crazy,
are we going to see more guys come back? Like I said, they've already announced that they're going to do a big thing for the 40th anniversary of Hulkamania. Yo. There's going to be merchandise.
What are they
going to be?
We'll get into that in another episode.
Right, we're going to have a whole episode of that, but it's going to be interesting because of all the hate that he's got.
Yeah.
So again, I know you haven't been in the fold for a while, but right before COVID, when they did that WrestleMania in Tampa, they had. That's when he was going through all the drama. Yeah. And they were trying to like build him back up and put him together. So what did they do? They had Titus O'Neil, who was the like the goodwill ambassador.
Got you.
Black dude.
Yeah.
And they had him host WrestleMania with Hope. Because they're like, listen, we're going to put you with the black dude that's like the ambassador to kind of like smooth this by. Yeah, look, we're hanging out. That's my dude.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're... Wait, don't you say it, oh. You can give me a high five, though, kid.
Right. But anyway, go watch that clip.
Yep.
He got the hell booed out of him. Hogan. They booed Hogan.
I mean, but you know.
We're going to have a whole conversation.
Yeah, we will.
So when we have that episode, there's going to be a lot of talk about that, everything that happened with that. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do and what their plans are for it, because Hogan is a very controversial character.
Very.
And not even just a character, but also just
a very
person in general.
Too,
but it's weird.
It is a very love-hate, tenuous relationship.
And it's weird because there's a lot of other wrestlers that I'm going to throw it out there. And we're diving into this deeper. Ric Flair.
Oh, no. Don't.
Ric Flair?
No.
A lot of
no, you leave Ric Flair alone.
I love Ric Flair. Get that Ric Flair drip.
He violated.
But he's done some shit.
He's violated.
Like there's rumors of him saying racist things.
Yeah, he's violated.
He's like a sexual predator.
Yeah.
I had someone tell me, someone in one of my other wrestling groups, who's from North Carolina.
Yep.
Right? There is a phrase, there's a saying in North Carolina that comes from how Ric Flair's carried himself around Carolina, which, by the way, for a little while he couldn't come back to North Carolina because he had a warrant because of the shit that he did.
Man, no.
But the saying goes,
woo!
If you're ready for hair, you're ready for flair.
Oh, no.
This dude hasn't been canceled, and people love him. Like, Ric Flair, woo! Everybody like, look, you stirred him.
Yeah.
Everybody like, woo!
Yep.
Hulk Hogan dropped an N-bomb in a situation where I would have dropped an N-bomb, and people are like, no! I hate him!
Yeah, I can't wait till we get into that.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a wild episode, but check it out. So we're going to have a lot coming up. Next week, we're going to review Hard to Kill.
Yes.
We're going to start working on the Smarkies.
Yes.
Part of me would love to do it next week.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking the week after Hogan. The last week of January.
Yeah, we gotta get that one out. Yeah.
So next week we're gonna Hard to Kills this weekend. Impact Wrestling came back as TNA again. Yep. They kind of got rid of that, came back to TNA.
Yep.
New belts, new everything. So this is kind of like their launch was their last show, really, is under the new name of TNA. But now with their new belts and everything, Hard to Kill, which is kind of fitting. A company like TNA that did horrible, had to change their name from TNA to Impact.
That is a good name choice.
And they said we're coming back as TNA.
Yeah.
Which TNA has that like double entendre. It really stands for total nonstop action.
Yeah.
But it's TNA. Tits and ass. TNA.
Yo, he be getting me. I'm like, where's he going with this? What's going on?
No, that's like that. That's like that double entendre that they had with it. So they came back to it and they're like Hard to Kill. And,
I like that.
And it's a pay-per-view that they've had normally. But it's so fitting that we came back with TNA last month for your pay-per-view. And now when you're bringing out your new belts and really doing your full relaunch, it's Hard to Kill. Because we're Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
So...
You know what we got to look into doing, bro? We got to look into bringing some more. Because, like, they had the little wrestling thing that happened in Wings Court out here. And, you know, Kilburn's Mills is actually a really nice space up there on the top floor to do some, like, stuff like that. So, like, we definitely should look into some stuff, like... Trying to figure out how to get more, at least get some folks intrigued on doing more stuff out here regularly.
Oh, if we want to get into that, I've got, between everybody in this group, people have connections.
Yeah.
I got some connections, so I'm going to tell you this. I have a good friend of mine who is currently working very close with EC3, Ethan Carter III.
Yep.
And I know for a fact that bucks and we can get EC3 on a show if we put a show on. So it's going to happen. And I got a lot of stuff going on with that. Listen, there's going to be big news coming from OVW, as a matter of fact. If you follow Ohio Valley Wrestling, Al Snow now runs that. Used to be like the breeding ground for WWE. They're doing their own thing. They're working on a TV deal. So you're going to see things coming from that. Okay. There's going to be a lot of things coming from OVW. They haven't announced that yet. So I'm leaking that before.
You heard it here first.
Someone's going to hear that and be like, what?
Exclusive. I'm clipping that up.
But big things are going to be coming from that company. They're trying to put themselves on the map. So there's going to be a lot of big things from that. But as far as like things here, I got connections with all those dudes down there. Like Davey Cash is my guy. Shout out to Davey Cash. Shout out to
it might have been dope. Like, we just set up like, because you know I want to do Podfest, so we'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Podfest would be fire to have a wrestling match there.
That'd be dope.
That'd be really dope.
That'd be really.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out. You know, be on the lookout for Podfest. We're looking to do it 2024. You know what I'm saying? We just got to put the resources and everything together. I think, you know, that was the whole goal of our Podfest. The concept that I had in mind was like just taking aspects of each of our shows and having it there, part of the fest. So why not have a wrestling match? You know what I mean? Like that actually goes on there. And like you said, between the resources everybody has here, I think we could figure that out for sure.
I think we put on something wild. The people would just be like, yo, they really just did that?
Yeah, because they already did it there. They already did it in Wings Court. So it's not like it's like not a thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's figure that out. And
you might be sitting here and being like, yeah, what connections you watch?
Oh, yeah.
Watch. There's a lot of big things coming here. We've been working on a lot of great things.
Absolutely. I mean,
this man's putting in a lot of work. I'm putting in work.
For
other people on our team are putting in work. So I want to shout out to everyone else on this team that's been using their resources and all of us
time.
connecting together to make things happen. Just pay attention because we're going to have some amazing guests on in the coming weeks, months, and this show is we're going to the next level with this thing. So get ready for it. We're going to be, if I don't get canceled. If Tony Khan doesn't get me canceled for calling him out on doing way too much coke all the time, or just come after me, I don't know.
We're in this together, bro. I told you, it's an honor to be canceled with you. So it is what it is.
And on top, I've seen this dude throw. So Tony, don't come at me. I'm just trying to tell you.
My secret. I want y'all to think I'm a geek. I am harmless. Run up on me. No, I'm just joking.
But before we get out of here, I know we probably went over what we want to do, but it's all good. Is there anything that you want to tell people, hey, make sure you check this out this coming week?
Nah, yeah, for sure. So, like, we're going to be dropping a couple of our first episodes. And again, I'm full transparent. I'm a full transparent person. It took us some growing pain to learn how to maneuver all of this. So we had, some AV stuff there, but it's not going to be as crispy as like this one was. It was trial and error. It's difficult to not just build a solo podcast, but to build out a network. And I just want to say, basically my message is thank you for anybody who's tuned in and joining us and being a part of this experience because, it takes time to build something. And one thing that we were fully transparent about is this wasn't like a quick overnight thing that we're doing here. We're looking to build this out 5-10 years to be a sustainable thing. We're looking at larger ambitions like Roku and Netflix and things of that nature. And to make a direct-to-consumer outlet for ourselves and stop being stuck within, certain unfair practices of payouts and ads, and we know what people are getting for ads. Just from some background here, I run a consultation company called Banter Consulting, but I come from a production background. I've worked in the industry, high level. I've road managed for a couple of named artists, stuff like that. So, like, I understand the mechanics behind it. I know that we've been audacious and brave enough to actually want to build something here together that's direct to consumer eventually. So be on the lookout for a lot of that stuff that'll be announced over time. I don't like to put the cart before the horse, but I do like to put it into the universe. So again, thank you, the viewer, for joining us and supporting my man Sean Puff right here, what he's got going on here. And again, everything we got going on at the MultiVerse, man. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe, follow, share, comment, and tell a friend.
And I can't even say more than that because he just hit that all in the head. We got a lot of huge things coming. Me and this man go way back.
Way back.
Y'all don't even know this, but he's married to my sister's best friend. And when we first met, we were doing music together in an event where we got double booked.
Yep.
He came down and was like, "What? What'd you do to me?" And I said, "Yo, you came and you're with my sister. You're my people. You're performing." And ever since then, me and him have been up and down the streets doing different things together. Sometimes we swing off and do something else, but we always end up back together. We did LIT radio together.
Correct.
We were doing
on that project.
We were doing those shows when you were doing all the shows down the South End. A lot of things.
Club, all of that stuff. Yep.
So the two of us have been connected for a long time, and we're gonna make this huge. Podfest is gonna come. There's a lot of things coming. Don't think, oh, it's just us. Because what we do is we're doing it for you guys.
Correct.
There's gonna be so much coming for you guys, and everything that we think about is, what do the people want to hear? What do the people want to see? What are we going to do to make things different, to make the environment different, to make the atmosphere different, to change what everybody thinks about when they think of a podcast and a podcast network?
Correct.
So check this out. We got a lot of great things coming. And I'm going to say, for my watch this week, Hard to Kill, TNA, Saturday night, the 13th Saturday, right?
Yes, it is.
So Saturday night, the 13th, it's on Fight TV, which is now Triller TV, but that's where it'll be. So check that out because next week we'll be reviewing that show, Smarkside Review, and we'll go over all that, run it down for you, and we'll get you ready for the anniversary of Hulkamania and then the Smarkies.
That's right.
I'll probably announce. So how about this? Since we're gonna have next week, will probably be mostly Hard to Kill. We'll have a little talk about the Smarkies. We'll talk about a little bit of the awards, the history of the Smarkies, and we'll throw out like a couple.
Yeah,
I won't run everything down, but I'm going to run down a couple of the awards and maybe even throw out a couple nominees for it. And get you ready for the show because that's going to be a big one. You guys are going to love what we do with that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we're ready to get out of here.
Yeah, man.
So until next time, that's Lionel. I'm Sean Puff, and this has been Smarks, Spot Monkeys, and Superkicks.